All right, welcome, everybody to Giants baseball. It's Chris here. Nick will join us in a little bit as we got Giants-Dodgers baseball tonight, live from Los Angeles, and we just had first pitch against Mr. Mike Yastrzemski. So misses for ball one, and we are starting a new series, another series against the Dodgers, as they played 4 last week against the Dodgers, and now they're back in town for 3. So thanks for joining us. So glad to have you here as we continue to try to build the San Francisco Giants fan community here on YouTube. Excited to be back with you. A little bit to talk about today. As the Giants finished a 4-game road series against the Rockies. A disappointing 1-3 in Colorado. I mean, they had a couple of chances to win more than that. Obviously, they could have potentially have won 3, I think. And so they were competitive. They were competitive for 4 games, but only were able to get 1 win out of that. They beat themselves a couple of times, and the pitching has been iffy, as has been the theme for the rest of the season. Austin Slater leads off tonight's game with a walk. So the Giants are able to draw some walks against the Dodgers again, and it's already a 3-0 count now against Mike Yastrzemski. So looking like a decent start. A little bit of trouble from the pitcher Julio Urias tonight as he finally gets a strike into Yastrzemski, 3-1. So nobody down in the top of the first inning. Austin Slater at first base with the leadoff walk. And Mike Yastrzemski is the second place hitter tonight against the lefty Urias. And Mike Yastrzemski is going to be an everyday player. His splits against the lefties are fantastic for a left-handed hitter. So you're going to see a lot of him against everybody, which is awesome because he has been one of the best players in baseball for the last year or so. Excited to be back. It's been a long week. A long week of Giants baseball and also just in life in general. But great to be back here for some Major League Baseball. Yastrzemski popping one up behind third base, just off in foul territory, and he is out. So after starting the at-bat 3-0, it's kind of a disappointing end to it, but we will see how that goes. So the thing I like about the Giants taking the leadoff walk here, Slater is good at getting on base, by the way. But the thing I really like about it, I think, is the fact that Urias gets to start in the stretch to begin the game, so he's not really going to get a chance to settle into the windup, at least for this inning. So that could pay dividends as we move on. Hopefully the Giants are able to continue to get runners on base against him. Donovan Solano to the plate, takes a first pitch curveball just on the inside edge, barely on the inside edge. It's a bit of a generous call to Solano, but it's strike 1. Oh, hit that 95-mile-an-hour fastball pretty well, but fouling out of play. So a little bit of news to talk about, as today the Giants put, how do I say this? Reyes Maranta has been added to the Giants' the 60-man roster. He has been assigned to the Sacramento alternate facility. Solano lifting a fly ball to center. That pushes Bellinger back a little bit, but he has got plenty of room to handle that one. 2 away with 1 runner on base at first. So anyway, as I was saying, the Reyes Maranta starting his rehab assignment down in Sacramento. He is coming off of a Tommy John injury, I believe, just like many of the Giants. So he is possibly going to be pitching this season in this shortened season, which is really good news. He is by far, I think, their best arm out of the bullpen, and the Giants need some bullpen help. Let's be real, guys. So looking forward to that. Sorry about that. We changed a pretty big setting here on the broadcast tonight. Ooh, stolen base for Austin Slater. Picked a good pitch to go on, and the throw was well high and off from I don't know who is that in that catching position tonight. For the Dodgers, it's Will Smith. So not a great throw, but in scoring position is Austin Slater, as I'm pretty much just copying what Mike Krukow is saying. But anyway, we changed the setting here on the broadcast. The latency of the show should be a little bit better now. I think we went from just a normal latency to what did I set it at? I think it's like an ultra low. So hopefully that means everything you hear from us should be pretty much as close to real time as we can with the actual game. Hopefully that delay has been shrunk a bit, and the quality hopefully also doesn't suffer. Longoria, it's a lazy fly ball to right, and he is out. So 19 pitches in the inning, 4 up and 3 down as the runner at second base, Slater, is stranded, and the Giants no runs on no hits, no errors, 1 left on in the first. So anyway, Reyes Maranta will be starting his rehab assignment. Hopefully he's up in just a couple of weeks or so. Back pitching with the Giants will really, really help solidify the back end of the bullpen, the late innings part of the bullpen. I doubt that they'll really try to leverage him as a closer from the get-go as soon as he finally gets added to the major league roster. But again, like I said, we will hopefully see a big improvement from the bullpen. Also, notable news for the Giants is obviously as of yesterday, they are down to 28 players on the roster, down from 30. And the 2 players getting sent down back to the alternate facility in Sacramento are Steven Duggar and why is it escaping me? It was Steven Duggar and one of the pitchers. I'm looking that up right now. Sorry, guys. Bad knowledge on my behalf here. So it was Andy Suarez, who really didn't get much of a look at all with the Giants so far. I don't think he's even been up all that. Yet he had been even up all that long. So Andy Suarez back to the. I want to say back to AAA, but we all know that there's no AAA happening. Jeff Samardzija is our starter tonight, and the last 2 starts, the first 2 starts of the season for Samardzija have not been overly impressive. So you see his numbers there being flashed on the television, but for those of you not watching on TV tonight, his numbers so far this season, he's 0-1 with a 9.31 ERA, so has allowed quite a few runs. He's had some effectiveness issues. We heard after his last start that he's fighting a blister on one of his hands, I think, or some discomfort, so he's really not able to feature his split finger very much, but I think he was hoping to have that kind of figured out, that taken care of by this start. So we will see if he's any more effective. 2 games started. It's only lasted 9 2/3 of an inning through 2, and only struck out 2 batters this season so far. First pitch to Jock Peterson, the leadoff hitter, is a strike, a little bit off the outside edge, and that's a generous strike. But we're going to get some width tonight from these umpires. So starts out with a strike. The next pitch is bounced off a home plate, so it's low for a ball. So that's what we're looking for tonight. Out of Jeff Samardzija, we're going to see if we can get 5 full innings out of him. That would be great. He went 6, I think, in his last start. So he was able to show that he has some stamina. I say he's got that arm built up for some longer starts. We only went 5 2/3. He almost made it through 6 full. He's the first one to make it through a full 5 innings, first starter of the Giants, and he almost made it through 6. So not too bad of a start for him, but he gave up 5 earned runs. He's given up 5 earned runs in both of his 2 starts so far. That's where you get that 9.31 ERA. So 1-2 right now to Jock Peterson. Bounces another one. Looks like he's trying to throw that split finger tonight, so it's good to see. He's risking it, trying it out, seeing what happens. Game starts on time tonight. The Giants were up and down quickly in the top of the first. That pitch is not close, up and in. Full count to Jock Peterson as we're already going into deep counts here on the first batter of the game. But hopefully settling in is Jeff Samardzija. The Giants tonight have an interesting lineup as Austin Slater starts. They're against the lefties, so they're trying to get as many right-handers in as has been the story all season long. But you will still see Brandon Belt playing first base tonight as Darren Ruff gets the start in left field. Giants are a little bit short-handed now in the outfield as we said, Duggar was sent down yesterday, leaving one left. Well, he's a left-hander, but leaving one left option for the outfield, I guess you can say. So you got Slater and Ruff in the corner outfield positions, the two right-handers. Yastrzemski, the left-hander, will be in center as he's pretty much their everyday center fielder now, which I'll take. It's nice to have that position nailed down. So Slater, Yastrzemski, Donovan Solano back in at second base tonight. Evan Longoria, third base, the right-hander as well. Wilmer Flores gets the start tonight. He will be your designated hitter as Brandon Belt gets a start against the lefty at first base. We'll see how he does against the lefty. He has not been overly impressive, though he did hit the big home run 2 games ago in Colorado to give the Giants the go-ahead run in their lone win in Colorado. And speaking of Belt, he had a look at a foul ball there that just went into the stands. It's 0-2 to the second place hitter, Mookie Betts. Mookie Betts, who the Giants did a pretty good job of keeping at bay in the opening 4-game series early this season. Comes into tonight's game hitting .289. And he's definitely picked it up as of late. He did not play yesterday, or the last 2 games he didn't play against San Diego. But his last game in Arizona on the 2nd, so it's been 5 days. He was 2 for 3, had a home run. I believe that was his first, a solo home run of the season. That was his second now, saying actually. But anyway, he's got 2 home runs, 6 runs batted in on 13 hits, 45 at-bats, 7 runs scored. Not a great start for him, but he's warming up. He's doing better than he did the first series against the Giants. 0-2 pitch to him is down the middle, fouled back. So they're not getting super good looks at that slider of Jeff Samardzija. That's what they're calling it. I think that's more of a split finger. 4-seam fastball's been registering about 89 miles per hour for Samardzija tonight, which, let's be honest, we're going to need to see a little bit stronger fastball from some of the Giants starters if they're going to be real competitive. So slider knuckle curves they're showing here on MLB Game Day. I don't think Jeff Samardzija throws a knuckle curve. Anyway, the next 0-2 pitch is lined down the left field line and fair off the bottom of the wall. Peterson had to hold to make sure that wasn't going to get caught, so he only gets into third on a double from Betts. So 2 runners on second and third to start out the bottom of the first. Nobody out so far. Pitch was a little fat. Kruko's trying to say it was a good pitch, but that got a good look at it. Really did a nice bend arm swing that helped him stay inside that pitch, send it down the left field line. So the Giants are in trouble against this high-powered Dodger offense. Bellinger, the third-place hitter, is up. He's still having a rough start so far. He's got some hits now. He's only hitting $1.70 coming into the game tonight. And the first pitch swinging, he's lines just foul down the right field line. That could have been some serious danger. 2 runs easily would have scored if that was fair. So go ahead and give us some feedback. Let us know how the latency issue is in terms of the delay. I know there's a problem with sort of the way we're watching these games. course, I'm in North Carolina. I can't watch the games live on Comcast or sorry NBC Sports Bay Area. I just don't have the ability to do that. We don't have that channel out here, so I have to watch it via MLB TV, which has a delay built into it naturally. So I am not able to watch the games in whatever real time like most of the Comcast cable watchers are able to do back at home in the Bay Area. But so I've tried to reduce the latency here on the YouTube side as much as I could. Hopefully this setting yields better results. Let me know how it looks in terms of how late it is. But and what we're thinking about doing in the future is doing sort of a massive at the beginning of the game, doing like a first pitch synchronization, getting everybody to pause right as the first pitch like hits the batter's glove, the catcher's glove, or the bat, and saying ready, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, go. Everybody hits play. Assuming you have a DVR, that should work, and or you're watching online, and then everybody's at the same spot, but you have to watch at the beginning. So we're trying to think of solutions, as we did get some feedback that the delay was a bit nerve-wracking. So it's supposed to be a reaction video. It's not supposed to be like a play-by-play. We're not trying to replace Kruk and Kipe here by any means. So we'll work with the format and see if we can kind of make it feel a little bit more natural and a little less I don't know, a little less delayed, make that a little more bearable. So if you're in the chat right now, if you're able to get in the chat, go ahead and let me know how the latency seems to be tonight. So a nice pop out in foul territory for Bellinger means that the Dodgers are unable to score for that one batter at least. Justin Turner is the batter now with one away, runners at third and second. Second and third, I think is a better way to say it. And Samardzija is battling in the first inning right off the bat. If you missed Logan Webb, sorry, that's my son. It's his bedtime, and he's being sent to bed, and he's not too happy about it. But if you watch Logan Webb in his last start, put in another solid effort, and the Giants have got to be happy with or excited about what they're seeing out of him so far. He's probably their most consistent starter so far this season. 2-0 pitch to Justin Turner is swung on and missed. They're still calling that a slider, but I think that's the split. So far, Samardzija's fastball has not exceeded 89 miles an hour. That's rounding up, too, by the way. The 2-1 pitch to Turner is popped up in the air. This is going to be in shallow center. Yastrzemski calls off Solano. And it's shallow enough that nobody is able to advance. And again, another out with no runs scored. If he's able to get out of this inning without these runners scored, I'll be pretty impressed. And no harm done is a great way to get through the first inning. So obviously, some of the Giants pitchers this season are having a hard time settling into games. So as we said, Andy Suarez and Duggar were sent off the roster yesterday. So their Giants are down to 28 players, and they did it without getting rid of either of the guys that I think Nick and I were kind of thinking needed to be gotten rid of. But if Nick is able to join us here in a little while, we will hopefully talk about that a little bit. With 2 down, Max Muncy is on deck. It's Corey Seager at the plate, the starting shortstop tonight. It's the usual cast of characters here for the Dodgers. Turner, though, tonight is playing the DH position. It's in the DH slot as the third baseman, which is a little bit different than what we saw earlier in the first series against Dodgers. Third baseman tonight is Edwin Rios, who's started at 12 at-bats, has 3 hits with 2 home runs, 4 runs batted in. So it's got a little bit of thump so far in the 12 at-bats. So it's not hard to see why they're trying to get him in the lineup. Talking about the blister a little bit now. So if you're watching tonight, it's great to have you here. Say hello in the chat. Let us know you're here. And we're really, really glad to have you here. Nick will be along shortly. First pitch Swinging is Corey Seager. It's a high fly ball into left field, shallow left field. Darren Ruffin makes the catch, so 3 outs in a row as the Giants escape the bottom of the first inning, where they had runners at second and third with nobody out. So nice job by Samardzija shutting that down and keep them out of trouble. Hopefully it doesn't have quite as much traffic on the base paths early in innings for the rest of the night, but we'll see how that goes. So no harm done. 2 runners left on 1 hit, and it's nothing going to the second. So in between innings here, that's just a quick reminder. I'm not sure how you guys are watching us. Let me know in the chat if you can. Also, how you're watching. If you're watching on a mobile device, or if you're watching on a desktop PC, or on your Mac, or whatever it is you're watching on, be it an iPad, iPhone, Samsung, whatever they're called. I'm an Apple ecosystem user when it comes to mobile devices. But anyway, please do consider liking us over on in this corner over here, subscribing over on in this corner over here, and we're trying to do one of these games every week, live games, and we're working on trying to get some good in between content of a little less formal, short form, just commentary on what's been going on throughout the week with the Giants. And it's been a busy week, so it's been tough to do it this week, and we're gonna get that going here hopefully in the next week. Does this make a noise when I do this? Oh, it does. That's my swear button there, my cough button. It's the only fun feature we've got here on the show, audio wise so far, anyway. Coming back in the top of the second, the Giants will send the 5, 6, 7 hitters up. Leading off is Wilmer Flores. First pitch to him is high and away for ball 1. Brandon Belt on deck, Darren Ruff in the hole. So we'll see all 3 of them. Belt has gotten off the schneid. Obviously had a big home run in Colorado. Flores is still hitting .304, so he's still been hot. Facing the lefty, the next pitch just in there on the outside corner. 2-1 now to Wilmer Flores. Urias so far tonight is featuring, there's the update, about a 92-mile-an-hour four-seamer. And there's a 94-mile-an-hour four-seamer off the top side of the top part of the strike zone, swung and missed by Flores. So he's got that one by him there. It's 2-2. Got to try to get more runners early on the base pass. Flores slaps this one into right. Playable by Betts. It was the last time the Giants played the Dodgers, I think had a ton, probably a dozen putouts in that game by himself. So the Giants are definitely showing an affinity for hitting the ball to the right fielder Betts. And so he's going to have to earn that paycheck on the field. So one of the 2 lefties in the lineup tonight against the lefty Urias is Brandon Belt. Here he is. Takes the first pitch way high. Yastrzemski and Belt, the only 2 left-handers in the lineup. The Dodgers are showing more of a right-handed swinging lineup, but it's still pretty balanced. They do a lot of lefty-righty stuff. I think they're probably not expecting Samardzija to get deep into this game again, as he's struggled to do. So that will really pay dividends when the Giants start going into the bullpen, as you got lefty-righty, lefty-righty. It's really hard for them to match up against. Belt swinging and missing at the 2-0 pitch. 2-1 now. Wow, that's a stat right there. Belt has walked 7 times against Urias and 10 at bats. Pitch well outside there for ball 3. So Urias is in danger again of walking a batter early in the inning, as he walked Slater to lead off the first, and this pitch swung on and fouled off by Belt. So go check in the chat if you have a minute. Let me know where you're from. I'm Chris. I'm from the San Francisco Bay Area, obviously, but currently living in North Carolina, trying to get the North Carolina contingent of Giants fans going. Urias muscles up on that fastball, blows it by Belt at 96 miles an hour, swinging and missing. So Brandon Belt notches yet another strikeout, which is, let's see, coming into the game. Do we have these numbers? Coming into the game, he had struck out 7 times. That would be the 8th one in 18 at bats. So a lot of strikeouts for Belt so far this season. To the plate is Darren Ruff, who has gotten not too consistent playing time so far this season. Hopefully, he'll be getting more. But I think he shows with consistent play time, you get good results from him. But he's been sidelined a bit, especially since Belt and Longoria have been back in the lineup, back on the roster. Ruff has not really gotten as much play time, but I think the more that you get not great performance from the Belts, the Crawfords, the Sandovals, you're going to see more of Ruff as long as he keeps performing. That's what we're looking for. And he is ahead in the count now, 3-1. This righty against lefty this time. Kids are headed up to bed. 3-2 count with 2 down to Ruff, and the pitch way high, possibly a little bit in, and he draws the walk. So we got Urias in the stretch again. 2 outs, though, this time, and so getting him in the stretch as consistently as he can is important here. Chadwick Tromp comes to the plate. He is hitting .278, 2 home runs, as he's definitely shown the power that the Giants expected from him so far early in this season. He's only got 18 at-bats coming into this plate appearance. So 5 for 18, 2 home runs, and a .930 OPS. That's from a slugging percentage there, folks. He's on-base percentage is not fantastic. First pitch, curveball, a generous call for a strike. So 0-2 now to Trump, who fouled off a 95-mile-an-hour fastball in the second pitch. Giants young players and the newer players are showing they can hit the fastball, which is impressive. 0-2 is just fouled off. It was a back foot slider there that he was able to get a piece of. Saw a lot of back foot sliders against the Giants when they played the Colorado Rockies in 4. And it was effective, let's say that. So, yeah, fastball command, not great from Urias so far, and we'll see how he is out of the stretch. Hopefully keeps him from getting into a good rhythm. Pickoff attempt. I don't think Darren Ruff is a huge stolen base threat, but there is, of course, always the hit and run. I'll be trying to keep him close here. Yeah, he's got 1 stolen base. Another 0-2, way high. With 2 strikes, that I wouldn't say that was a mistake pitch. Then you definitely don't want to put an 0-2 pitch in the strike zone. Any pitch in the strike zone is kind of a mistake when you're ahead 0-2 on a batter. Lined into left field, a base hit past the diving Corey Seager. Got guys on base, a little traffic. That's what we want to see. It means good things for the Giants if they can consistently get runners on base, as they did in the first series. They were able to keep getting guys on base in the first series against the Dodgers, particularly in the last 2 games of the 4-game series, which they won. Mauricio Dubon, the 5th batter up in the inning. He has really improved his numbers since the season began. He went a long time without getting a hit, and now he's been kind of hot, I guess you could say. He was yesterday in Colorado. He's 2 for 4 with a 3-run homer, his first of the year, as they just played a replay of that. So we'll see how Dubon does here with an RBI opportunity and 2 down. It's probably more of a that was a nasty curve. They're definitely going to try to keep him off balance here and not give him anything. We're probably not going to see a lot of fastballs in this at bat, especially with the younger player Dubon at the plate. It's going to be something that he's not able to really hit very solidly, is probably the way they're going to approach this at bat, I would think. So Trump, the runner at first, Ruff at second. 0-1 is way high. And so he gets a fastball, but it's not one you want to swing at. If you do swing at that, you're going to miss it, or you're going to pop it way up in the air. So 1-1 is the count. Dubon swinging, fouled off on the fastball just on the inside corner. So they are giving him some fastballs, but sure, with the 1-2 count here, they're probably not going to want to finish him with a fastball. It's probably going to be something, maybe another back foot slider here, or something bounced in the dirt. And the 1-2. Back foot slider. Low and in. Good take from Dubon there. Big at bat. See if Dubon is able to keep his been kind of hot. So let's see if he's able to keep that rolling. 45 pitches so far through 1 2/3 for Urias. He's probably not going to go deep into this game. Swung on and softly lined to second baseman Taylor. So no harm done in the second by the Giants, but they leave 2 on. So the first hit of the game for the Giants and another walk. 2 left on. That's 3 left on base total for the Giants. And they've made it through the entire lineup in 2 innings. So we'll get the top of the lineup. Slater, Yastrzemski, Solano coming up. Those are the big producers for the Giants so far this season. All right, in between innings again, Samardzija will be coming out in the bottom of the second, facing Max Muncy, Taylor, and Rios, the 6, 7, 8 hitters. And as a reminder, try to, as always, hammer that like button, which is over on this side, somewhere around here, and the subscribe button over yonder. Love to have you guys here on a regular basis. We're trying to get one game done pretty much on the weekends. Might be in for the game tomorrow night as well. We'll see how that goes. It really does also depend on if Nick's able to make it in tonight or not. He mentioned that he might also be available tomorrow. It's right now it's a busy time of year because school is going to be starting. And I'm not sure when it starts exactly for California, but for us here in North Carolina, it starts in a week. So it'll be a week from this coming Monday. Of course, our kids are not starting. We'll be virtual at school for the first 9 weeks of the year, which that's brutal. I don't know how our district ended up with 9 weeks, as the neighboring county will be doing 5 weeks initially, but I hope there's a possibility to come out of that early if things are looking good, but we'll see. 9 weeks sounds like a lot of time to be guaranteed to be virtual learning, but that's what we're doing. So our son is in preschool, so it's not like it's a huge effect for him, but it's not easy to get a whole lot done virtually with a 3-year-old. Actually, he'll be 3.5 here a week from tomorrow, so he's getting old. It's going fast. Bottom of the second now. First pitch to Max Muncy, and the first pitch of the inning from Samardzija is up and away for a ball. His 20th pitch thrown. Remember, we talked about Urias had over 45 when I mentioned it last, but he is up to 46 pitches now. Next pitch is just in there at the belt for strike 2. So we're hoping that this blister problem for Samardzija is solved. First fastball of the inning was 88 miles per hour. That last split was 82. Drops another one at the bottom of the strike zone that time for strike 2 called. 1-2 is the count, and we'll probably get some sort of pitch outside of the zone here, I would think. And the fastball, 91, so that's his hardest fastball he's thrown so far, is popped up into shallow left. Darren Ruff, an easy play. So he was able to park himself underneath that, and there's an early 1 out away. So we're 1 out of 3, third of the way to a clean inning. This is always what we're looking for, especially with Samardzija. If we can get some clean innings out of him, it'll probably be good for the Giants. Can't be anything but good. Chris Taylor, the second baseman, to the plate. It's been hitting 256 so far this year. Seager is really the hottest hitter in the lineup for the Dodgers tonight. I guess you could say now that Betts just got another single. He is as well. First pitch swinging is grounded to belt at first. He flips to Samardzija for plenty of time as the former college wide receiver, who's got a little bit of wheels for a big man, is able to beat out Taylor no problem on one pitch. Is retired, and there are 2 outs in the second inning, 2/3 of the way to the clean inning. We might have to do some sort of celebration, like drinking game or something for that in the future. But as the Giants pitching staff stands now, we might not get a whole lot of drinks down the hatch because they're not getting a whole lot of clean innings. But that's something we might get to work towards as we build up a little bit more of a following. Okay, the first pitch to Rios was called strike to Muncy, and this time just a little bit high, I guess, to Rios. That was higher pitch was called a strike to Muncy, but anyway, 1-0, and that one's in there. Another split. Even at 1-1 now. These splits are like 82 miles an hour, so not a ton of velocity, and the fastball. Let's see, did they register that last fastball? Yeah, there's the pitch to Muncy that got him out. That light fly ball to left was 91 miles an hour, and this now another 91 mile an hour swung on and missed by Edwin Rios, the first fastball he saw in that at bat. And it's 1-2, so way out ahead here, facing the 6, 7, 8s. 2 down, and the pitch off the outside, even at 2-2. Nothing in the bottom of the first. Both teams with 1 hit so far. The Giants have walked a couple. Walked twice, I should say. And Samardzija has walked 1. Up and away, 3-2 full count. So we're hopefully 1 pitch away from a clean inning, but see what happens here with the count full. Making it interesting here. And it is lifted in the air. Another split finger high into the shallow left center. It looks like it's going to be Dubon. And he makes the catch. The Giants get their first clean inning of the day. Nice job by Jeff Samardzija there to get 3 up, 3 down in the second after a tough start to the first, in which he got runners at second and third with nobody out. Nobody ended up scoring, and in the second he gets them 3 up, 3 down. So through 2 innings, he's thrown 30 pitches, by, let's see, I'm looking at the wrong stats here. Walked one, struck out none, but he hasn't struck out a lot of hitters this season, only 2 so far. Already worked that ERA from 9.3 down to 7.7, so looking like things are going in the right direction. In between innings again, a reminder, if you're just joining us, like over in this corner, subscribe over in that corner, and join the Giants fan community here that we're building. To my knowledge, it's the only place that you can watch the Giants live and interact and get some fan reaction as well, some fan chatter. So hopefully Nick is going to be joining us here, but what are we at? We're almost 10:30 here on the East Coast, 7:30 there on the West Coast. A text in from a viewer showing a little screenshot of the, what is this? Is the A's and Royals here? Or? Bernie from Weekend at Bernie's is one of the cutouts at the Royal Stadium, apparently. I want to see some more. I want to see a little bit more creativity from some of these cutouts in these stadiums. I know the Dodgers in the first series of the season did not have nearly as many as we saw at what the heck's the name of this? Oracle Park. Giants had a ton of cutouts, and I haven't seen as many in any of these stadiums since. The Colorado Rockies didn't do the fan cutouts. They actually just do former Rockies players, and so they were spread all over the area right behind home plate. But the Dodgers definitely seem to have many more cutouts than they did in the first series. Austin Slater leads off the top of the third. The 1, 2, 3 hitters in the lineup are up in the third inning for the Giants. Takes first pitch for a strike, and hopefully they can get traffic early against Urias again as the second pitch just in there on the outside corner for strike 2. So early hole for Austin Slater. Giants bench tonight. Brandon Crawford, Alex Dickerson, the left-handers. This one chopped to second base. Plenty of room for Taylor, and he throws on to first, so a quick out in the top of the first. 49 pitches now for Urias. Yastrzemski coming up. Crawford, Dickerson are the 2 lefties on the bench. Heineman and Sandoval, 2 switch hitters, and Hunter Pence, the lone right-hander, who comes into tonight's game hitting a .134. As he is no longer 0 for the season, he is 1 for the season. In 29 at-bats, 1 hit, so that, okay, some action here. Looks like Corey Seager's being taken out of the game. I don't know if maybe he had some weird footwork or something like that, as he didn't field the last ground ball from Slater, but he was backing up behind the play, and I'm not sure what's going on here. So he heads to the dugout and into the clubhouse. Looks like Kike Hernandez is going to replace him. So, yeah, Hunter Pence is 1 for 29. A rough start to the season. I was anticipating that potentially Sandoval and Pence would be the subtractions from the roster, but neither of them end up being, which, I mean, if you've been a Giants fan in the Sabian era, was you know, if they have to make a tough cut, it's not going to be a veteran player. And that continues to be the story here, is you get 2 players who both show some promise and have a long future ahead of them, potentially in Duggar and Andy Suarez, who had options available, were sent down, and they choose to stick with the less successful veterans on the roster. Pence is a fan favorite. You're not going to probably see him go, though. And Sandoval is as well. So they're great stories. The fans love them, and they're going to, I don't know how long they're going to ride those horses, but you're probably going to see them around for a bit. First pitch to Yastrzemski is a called strike on the outside. As we restart again after Kike Hernandez is now in at second base, replacing Seager, the shortstop. So moving to shortstop is Taylor. Hernandez will hit fifth in the lineup. Next pitch to Yastrzemski, lined into the hole, left center field. Into the gap, I should say. One hops the wall, and Yastrzemski has himself a double. So more traffic against Urias here, and Yastrzemski stays hot. Yastrzemski is the guy. He really has been the catalyst for a lot of offense so far this season, especially against the Dodgers, as him and Solano and Dickerson really were driving the offense in that series, it seemed like. And speaking of Donovan Solano, he strolls to the plate. He's 0 for 1, but gets his first at bat here in the second at bat here in the game. First with a runner in scoring position. He has been stuck in RBI on 13 for a while now. But he was leading the majors at one point. I don't know if he is still, but with 13 RBI now, he's got a chance for number 14 here. Longoria on deck. Flores will follow him if the inning makes it that far. 53 pitches in for Urias, and he again is in the stretch in the top of the third. Runners on each of the first three innings. That pitch missed somewhere, I guess. It looked like a strike, but I guess was called low. Suspect umpiring. That's nothing new in baseball. So it's 1-1 to Solano. Off the outside on a fastball, and it's 2-1. Urias really having a hard time locating the fastball. It's been outside a bunch. It's been high a bunch. Not able to show that he can consistently, A, keep it down, or B, just keep it in the strike zone, period. He does not have good command of it so far. 2-1 pitch. Lined in the left center again, and that will fall for a base hit. Yastrzemski got a late read, is coming around third. The relay throw was there. Very close play at home. But Yastrzemski slides in underneath the tag and is able to score. So a RBI single from Donovan Solano, his 14th RBI of the season. And the Giants go ahead 1-0. So fantastic job there hitting. But yeah, you see Yastrzemski really did have to hold. Really didn't get going. He went about halfway and really didn't get going until almost when the ball fell in left field. From our behind the plate view on the broadcast, it looked kind of obvious that was going to be a base hit, but it's really hard to tell when you're on the ground level. So nice job of keeping it safe, playing it safe, and still being able to score by Yastrzemski there. And there it is. The Yastrzemski and Solanos are able to generate the offense for the Giants and get them ahead here. Some sort of a replay being done here. I guess there's going to be a challenge of the play at home. I guess they're trying to say that maybe Yastrzemski's foot when he slid in didn't touch the plate, but ooh. But his right foot might have skipped over the plate before he was tagged, but his left knee, I think, still beats that tag, though. That's the problem with sliding into home, is because the plate is flat with the ground. It's really easy for a foot or a leg to bounce and fly over the base, but not actually touch the plate. I think he's going to be called safe here. There's not really anything that's going to overturn, and he is called safe. Then the Giants are ahead. Mr. Peter Kim. Got you watching the game. Yeah, Solano has definitely been the MVP of the season so far. And Yastrzemski, I think, is a close second. Those two have been really pretty much generating any offense, any and all offense the Giants have been able to muster. Good to have you here tonight, Pete. Longoria to the plate. And Urias is just not getting any calls right now. That pitch looked like it was right at the knees, but it's low for ball one. So don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button there too, Pete, while you're watching. Fouled off the next pitch by Longoria, 1-1. So the Dodgers have definitely gone on a bit of a tear since we saw them the last time. They started off with 2-2 against the Giants in the opening 4-game series and have thanks a lot, Pete. Have gone 7-2 since then. So, but you look at the numbers of all the batters in the Dodger lineup. They're not. Nobody's really knocking the cover off the ball. They're not. Not a whole lot of high averages here. Pollock is definitely heated up since the Giants saw him. He has 3 homers on the year now, but the rest of the Dodger lineup has not been fantastic. Betts has warmed up a little bit, and as we said earlier, Seager. But Seager's out now, and Kike Hernandez had to replace him in the last inning, so we'll see how that goes. All right, and so unfortunately here, from the older Giants batters, we see them do what they've done a bajillion times over the last 10 to 15 years, ground into a double play. So the rally ends after the Solano single that drives in Yastrzemski as Longoria grounds into a double play, as he continues to be mostly not super impressive so far this season. He's 0 for 2, and the Giants are retired in the top of the third, but they get the 1 run, so they're up 1-0. They've left 6 runners on base so far. So they have definitely shown some skills for that. So like and subscribe, everybody watching. In between innings here, Samardzija coming off of a clean inning in the second, 1-2-3 clean inning. Still has not struck out a batter yet, but he's got a split finger back, so it seems to have been effective in that last inning at least. And we're going to see the bottom of the order, number 9 hitter Will Smith will lead off. He's coming in at hitting a 182, and it resets to the top of the order. We'll see Jock Peterson and Mookie Betts again this inning. So for the Dodgers so far, the reigning National League MVP Cody Bellinger has done not a whole lot offensively. He does have 2 homers and 5 RBI on the season, but he's only hitting $1.67, and he's only been able to steal 1 base. So not active on the base paths very much. He only struck out 8 times, walked 4, so not great numbers from him. On base percentage is only .211. Slugging .296. Not a lot of extra base hits out of him. He's got 1 double, 2 homers in let's see, on 9 hits, 54 at bats. So that gives him an OPS of .507 coming into this at bat. Pretty low. You got to imagine that he is due to break out of that at some point coming up. So Samardzija has gotten his ERA down to 7.71. So that's what, about 1.6 drop so far in this game. And the first pitch in the 3rd inning for him is just a little bit low. Facing Will Smith. Split finger a little bit on the high side. That's been called a strike earlier in the game, I feel like, but it's 2-0 quickly to Will Smith. Now, I feel like the Giants, he shouldn't try to nibble here against this guy. This is the guy that you just want to let him make contact and hit into an out. It's the fastball right down the middle, not particularly fast, and he gets his first strike looking, as looked like Smith was looking all the way, just trying to take a strike, as we say. Cutter, that they're calling that one, at 87 miles an hour. 2-1 the count. Nice splitter, 84 miles an hour. Backup slider, we're calling that? Okay. MLB Game Day just mischaracterizes pitches like crazy, especially split fingers. 2-2 pitch. That's got to be strike 3. It is called strike 3. Nice. So Pete, if you're watching still, let me know how the delay is. If it's if it's a drastic delay or not, because that's something we've tried to make some adjustment, as many adjustments as we could from our last time we did a broadcast. And we got some feedback that the delay was a bit unbearable between the live broadcast that you get on the West Coast and the delayed one that we got. So 1/3 of the way to another clean inning here in the bottom of the third. Pete says it's pretty good. So, all right. Hopefully the improvement will keep people watching. First pitch to Peterson, called strike. So a whole bunch of stolen strikes so far with the slower breaking stuff. Notice the two guys that I was saying that the Giants probably, that we wanted to see, I think Nick and I were in agreement, it's that Sandoval and Pence were probably the ones coming off the roster. Neither of them, of course, did, but also you're not seeing either of them in the lineup tonight against the left-handed pitcher. So I don't know. I don't know what their utility really is at this point when you got a guy like Pence who's got one hit on the season. And Sandoval's not exactly hitting the cover off the ball. Is that Jock Peterson? Are we saying he's the Palo Alto High School grad? Mr. Dylan Cohen, thank you for the feedback there. Yeah, if you're watching in the Central Time Zone, you're probably watching like on MLB TV like I am. So you're probably watching it at the exact same time that I am because that's how I'm watching it. So I'm glad there's no delay, and we got super low latency mode set here for YouTube. So hopefully they aren't delaying our video here much on top of that, and it should all probably line up pretty good. I'm going to boost the volume here a little bit on my mic. Two outs now in the third. Samardzija, since the first inning, is really getting some outs. So we're saying, yep. So Jock Peterson, it definitely says he was born in Palo Alto, California, 1992. So that was 10 years after I was born. But and it's so weird as you get older. You know, your kid watching baseball. These guys seem like they're ancient, and then as you get older, you just realize how much older you are than like anybody that's any good in the MLB. It's too late. I'm past my time. I don't think I could get drafted at this point. 1-0 pitch to Mookie Betts. He takes a strike. Mookie Betts has the lone hit for the Dodgers so far. See, it was a double, right? Yeah, I think it was a double back in the first inning. Yeah, and Peterson walked. So I'll take that. Anytime you can get a double out of Mookie Betts and no damage done, man, that's you got to figure you're pretty fortunate. Takes strike 2 on the low outside corner. Samardzija's doing a pretty good job of hitting the corners, and he's getting a lot of the calls, I think, because he's shown consistently that he can be around the strike zone. Urias, on the other hand, is not. He's been wild with the fastball, especially. Ooh, almost got a swing there out of Betts on that low and outside pitch. A really good 1-2 pitch there, but it is a ball, 2-2. Glad you enjoy the relaxed commentary. You're lucky because we don't have Brandon Crawford and Brandon Belt in the lineup tonight, so I'm not going to get too fired up. Well, Brandon Belt is in the lineup, but the two of them together, it gets to be tough. I'll be honest. Ooh, that one caught a little too much of the strike zone as it sends deep to left field, everybody back to the wall, and it's about 5 rows deep. So Mookie Betts, 2-out homer. That pitch was fat right over the middle of the plate. So the Giants get stung by Betts, and that's the first time in this series that they get stung by him, as he's 2 for 2 now. Not exactly, yeah, spoke too soon. Not exactly what we want. We want to try to get what we got out of the first season, the first series with Betts. He was not super effective in that 4-game series, and So far, a double and a home run. So six bases total. That's really going to help his slugging percentage, and got to figure out a way to keep him neutralized. Luckily, there was nobody on base, so minimizing the damage of Mookie Betts. He's really the only real hot hitter left in the lineup tonight. So we move on. Not a clean inning. Cody Bellinger to the plate. 0 for 1, hitting $1.67. You know what it was? You got me talking about Brandon Crawford and Brandon Belt. So bad things are going to happen even just when we're talking about those two players. That's my bad, everybody. We'll say that one's on me. Fouled off on the 2-0 pitch, so it's 2-1 to Cody Bellinger. This is another guy we got to be careful with because you know the reigning NL MVP is due to get hot at some point. And we need it not to be against the Giants because the Giants seem to get Nolan Arenado going in the last series, the 4-game series against the Rockies. He hadn't done much and had not hit a home run, and then the first 3 games of that series, he hits a home run in each of them. Next pitch, line to left, another base hit. Darren Ruff, not all that interested in catching that liner off the bounce, and it's a double for Bellinger. So a single and an error I think they're going to end up giving him. This is kind of what you expect from Ruff. You know the Giants aren't deep in outfielders right now. They're really kind of emphasizing the bats, which if you're a more metric-based approach in terms of how you're managing your roster and making your lineups, I can understand that defense is probably not the top priority. And, yeah, Ruff. I don't know what I called him. Did I call him Huff or something? I don't know. I might have said wrong name. But it's not going to be – defense is going to stink from this team. You got a lot of guys with not a whole lot of MLB experience that are playing in a bunch of different positions. Ruff, not a lot of time in the outfield. Recently has been out of Major League Baseball for a couple seasons before this, so everybody's getting moved around a lot, and I think you got some guys who aren't really used to doing – oh, boy. Well, Samardzija's thrown some fat pitches here as Turner lines a single to left, and which, of course, scores Bellinger, so that play by Ruff where he didn't catch the ball off the bounce. Yeah, it cost them there, but what is Samardzija throwing here? Everything is like thigh high right down the middle right now, and I don't care about errors as much as like just don't throw those fat pitches to guys like Justin Turner. Please. Kike Hernandez will get his first at bat tonight as Seager was lifted for him in the last inning. Takes high. So this is Samardzija's rap. He comes apart here. He looks good until he doesn't, and he just has an inning where he falls apart. Now the Giants are down 2-1. Yeah, those are BP fastballs basically is what he's throwing up there right now. That's absolutely right. There's a good pitch. Catches the low inside corner. He's only thrown 51 pitches here with 2 outs in the third, which is less than we've gotten from Urias, and hopefully the Giants can get more runners against him in the next inning. Urias is at 60 now. Oh. He's losing command of the fastball. Once they got him in the stretch, when Bellinger got on, he was his fastball's been all over the place. Taking a look ahead to. We'll wait till the inning's over. There we go. Oh no, that's going to be out of play. Popped up 2-2. He's going to have to throw something filthy here. He's not shown at all this season that he's got strikeout stuff, and for a pitcher in the majors these days who's making as much money as him, you got to be able to strike some guys out. There's no way you can make it through the league Kirk Reedering the whole thing these days. And Samardzija's not that kind of pitcher either, so he should be able to get some strikeouts. Let's see what happens here. 2-2 is another fat pitch, but it keeps him off balance enough to do a pop-up behind second. Solano, made that one look a little interesting, but is able to make the catch, so Dodgers score 2. Take the lead. The Giants have work to do. And as we saw early in the last season against the Dodgers, the Giants have to capitalize and score. They can't just keep scratching one run here, one run there, one here, one run. It's not going to. They can't keep that up consistently. They've got to start putting some innings up where they score 2 or 3. It's really against this kind of offense, against the offenses that they're going to see in these Western divisions this season. They've got to start putting up some runs, and means you need to get some extra base hits. You need to keep taking walks like they did for a while and get those runners on base and just get some guys with pop up there at the right time. And that's really, I make it sound a lot easier than it really is. But so we will see Wilmer Flores, Brandon Belt, and Darren Ruff in the top of the 4th. Giants have walked twice in this game, only struck out once. So we are seeing a lower strikeout rate, I feel like, from the Giants so far this season, which is very good to see. So Flores is 0 for 1. Belt is 0 for 1 with the lone Giant strikeout. Big surprise. And Darren Ruff was one of the walks. So it's the second walk that they got. We'll see what we can get going here. After that, we got Trump and Dubon. So Trump with a little bit of pop there. He's got the 2 homers on the season, and in just 9 at bats, I think we said the last time he was up. Not close. It's 19 at bats now for Chadwick Trump, but he's definitely shown some ability to get things done up there, and that's what the Giants need, is some batters who can get some situational hits. Flores watches the first pitch in for a strike. So Urias has thrown 61 pitches. We got to try to get him back in the stretch here. 0-1 is bounced off the plate. Urias has been wild. I mean, he's kind of been effectively wild. The fact that the Giants in 3 innings have put a lot of runners on base, left 6 on base so far, but really broke the swing down there of Flores as he barely chops that one foul. But Urias has not been able to locate with the fastball too well. One, two, bounced again. A lot of pitchers are going after the Giants' back foot when they can on the sliders, and it's been effective, especially effective for guys like Belton Crawford. But a lot of the other Giants hitters have been struggling as well. Yastrzemski showed that he was having trouble with it against the Rockies. Flores stays alive there on the 2-2 pitch. So we're, again, 5 pitches deep into this at-bat, so that pitch count keeps going up for Urias, and I don't know if that's a good thing or not. The Giants really should try to capitalize against Urias while they can, because he's not super effective so far tonight, and I'm not sure that they'd really want to get too deep into the Dodgers bullpen, because Dodgers bullpen's pretty legit. So I'm not sure that they'd necessarily have better luck against them. They got to try to get to Urias here while they can. And so far, they've been getting guys on base, so see if they can continue that. Ooh, barely fouled off by Flores. He's not gotten very solid contact in this at-bat, but he is staying alive. Still 2-2, and that was pitch number 7, so this will be pitch number 8. Ooh, a hanging curve. That was, yeah, it was definitely a slow curve. And yeah, Flores is getting some swings here, that's for sure. So this will be now a 9-pitch at bat. Way high. Again, that fastball, he just can't He cannot locate that fastball high and away, so it's a full count. Yeah, the high fastball has not been anything that's really tempted Giants batters yet today. That one right down the middle, fouled off the catcher. He's beaten Will Smith up here. He's gotten hit 2 times in this at bat. Huh. Yeah, you don't want to get hit in the mask too much if you're a catcher. Another 3-2 against Wilmer Flores. This will be the 11th pitch of the at bat. Fouled off again. Out of play. Seven fouls. Urias is at 71 now. It's just the top of the 4th with nobody out. Oh! Chipped into the glove, and he's able to hang on. How do you throw a cut fastball? That is a great question. I have no idea how you throw a cut fastball. Let's see if we can look that up here real quick. Something about the grip, I'm sure, but see what the Google machine says. How to throw a cut fastball. From thecompletepitcher.com. To throw a cutter or a cut fastball, you will throw a fastball but get a slight amount of side spin that makes the ball move in or out a few inches. First pitch swinging is Brandon Belt, and he is retired just like that. Thank you, Mr. Brandon Belt. So Flores goes 12 pitches, but Belt on the second pitch is retired on a lazy pop-up to center field. Oh, a broken bat. Oh, look at that. Brandon Belt, everybody. I don't know how many times they're going to keep starting him. Darren Ruff. $76 pitches now from Urias. Yeah, 75 right there. Swinging strike to start the at bat. The next pitch is low and in. Up high. Again, that fastball is just not hitting its spots. So continuing here, we're talking about the cut fastball. You do this by moving your fastball grip, usually the 4-seam fastball grip, slightly off center. Some pitchers bring the thumb slightly up the inside of the ball and the index and middle fingers slightly toward the outside. Interesting. So 4-seam, I guess you're not touching the 4 seams anymore. Gives you a pitch somewhere between a fastball and a slider. Okay, so it's just a hybrid of a fastball and a slider, essentially. If thrown properly, that's how the pitch will move, like a very tight slider. So obviously, a lot of these pitches, I mean, you can kind of call them different things, but it's basically a tight slider. So Ruff is retired on a, is that a ground out? I was kind of reading. I wasn't really paying that much attention. The Giants are 3 up, 3 down in the top of the 4th. Shutdown inning for the Dodgers, and the Giants will be trying to do the same in the bottom of the 4th. Let's get right back to getting some outs. Yeah. I'm sure you're just going to go right out to the backyard and start throwing some cutters, aren't you? That was just textbook instruction. So what do you do here if you're the Giants? You got left-handed Brandon Belt starting at first base tonight against the left-handed pitcher. And I just don't know, man. I don't know why we do this to ourselves. But do you start Sandoval instead? I mean, it's not like he's knocking the cover off the ball. I mean, nobody on the Giants bench really is except for Dickerson. But gosh, the cupboard is bare in terms of what's on the bench tonight, except for Dickerson. And I doubt we're going to see Dickerson in a. The later into the game it goes, the less likely I think we are to see Dickerson because just he's not a strong defensive replacement. Though they might put him in left for Ruff because Ruff is probably not as good of a defender as Dickerson is even in the outfield. But all right, let's see what Samardzija can do here after the 2-run inning he gave up in the third. That was an interesting pitch. That was the split, I think, again, but just missed on the low inside corner to Max Muncy. Want to know pitch is smashed down the right field line. That will go foul by a bit, just a little bit. Six pop-ups, nice. So he's keeping him off balance except for when he hangs everything right over the middle of the plate like he did in the last inning. And to be honest, his first time through the lineup, he was able to use that split to kind of steal some strikes right over the middle of the plate. And I think their second time through, they're going up there looking for it. Yeah, they're seeing him well. That's for sure. There's another one. It's keeping him off balance. It's got some movements. His split finger really does have some nasty movement to it. So it's not like that location is super trouble for him, but if you keep leaving that thing right over the middle and it just doesn't, one of them doesn't break, it's a hanger and it's going to get smashed. Max Muncy's the perfect guy to do it. Wow, we really got him to chase on that one. Samardzija just doesn't have any pitches that have a whole lot of lateral break to them. Everything has a very vertical break. Oh boy. Here we go. Off the end of... oh, geez. I thought he was sort of reaching for that, and he slapped it over the right field wall. Max Muncy, man. Don't sleep on him. Second straight inning of giving up a home run for Samardzija. So far out of 4 innings, we've got 1 clean inning. I just didn't feel like he hit it that well. I mean, he had to reach for it a little bit, but it looked like, but now on the replay, I mean, that he was able to cover that outside pitch pretty well, and that was not slapped at all. Nice job of hitting there by Max Muncy. Slapped. Maybe I meant smashed. So Muncy, was hitting a 173, and before that at bat, hurts the Giants, and now they're down by 2, 3-1. That is his 3rd home run. Hard to tell. Not sure how well these stats are updating. Samardzija, man, I don't think he's going to make it through the 5th. It's at the bottom of the order now. 7, 8, 9 hitters here. He should be at least be able to get through this inning. He's only thrown 63 pitches. And he's shown in his last outing that they're willing to extend him. Fouled off. It'll be 2-2 now to Taylor. It's weird hearing that little stadium music being played in Let's Go Dodgers. That's a Let's Go Giants cheer. I'm sure every single team in the league probably uses that, though. Another 2-2 pitch. Line drive, center field, base hit. I gotta imagine there's going to be some bullpen activity here because Samardzija is just not effective here. The second time through the lineup. Yeah, he's got to be on a short leash. Like I said, the first time through the lineup, it's like he was able to steal some strikes and keep him off balance with that split and fastball. But the second time through, man, he's just leaving it right over the plate, and everybody's sitting on it. Rios. He struck out one hitter tonight, and that is the guy on deck, Will Smith. See, like that, he's able to steal some strikes, but it's not a strikeout pitch for him. He's not getting many swing and miss type of results right now, and it's a struggle, man. He's not getting a whole lot of ground balls, so even a situation like this is not likely to be able to get a double play. There's a swinging strike. 0-2 now. Trying to survive here in the bottom of the fourth. Giants are down 3-1. 0-2 count with a runner on first. The batter is Rios, third baseman. There we go. So he misses the target, but gets a second strikeout of the game. I would not mind seeing that again. Good thing I have the ability to replay stuff here on my MLB TV. So watching that. Oh wow! Right down the middle, and he swings and misses. Well, I'll take it. Will Smith coming to the plate. He's 0 for 1. He struck out his first at bat. With one down, we'll see if Samardzija can try to induce a ground ball here, but he's not keeping the ball down. So it's really starting to look like he can't really get a ground ball. That split's got to pretty much hit the lower part of the strike zone for him to really be able to get a ground ball out of it. Otherwise, it's too easy to get underneath. Just like that pitch right there. So puts it right down the middle of the plate, and it's able to be fouled off in the air. Oh, 0-2 to Smith here. I mean, gosh, man. It's like all the damage has been done the second time through the lineup here, and it's I am if he man, he's going to have to face Peterson for the third time the next after Smith here unless he gets a double play. So I'm scared to see what happens a third time through the lineup against Samardzija tonight. There's a good split. That's what he needs to throw, and especially with two strikes, get something that's going to be down. That's where you get your ground balls. Dylan Floro up in the bullpen for the Dodgers, so it looks like Urias's night's going to be over after 4 as well. So he will not have an opportunity to earn a victory tonight, even though he's up 3-1. He's thrown a ton of pitches. The Giants have gotten pitches out of. Oh boy. Peterson smacks one to left. It looks like Ruff's got a play, and it's off the top of the whatever that thing is. He just missed it. 2-run homer. Oh man, he was way out ahead of him. That wasn't a bad pitch. It was down and in. It's just that weak sauce fastball, man. That cut fastball is just not getting anything done. Ruff just missed that ball. So, for the third straight start, Jeff Samardzija has given up 5 earned runs. I think we got to say they're all 5. They're all earned, right? Nope, only 4 of them are earned. I guess the first run, they're going to say the first run was not earned because Ruff decided not to catch the ball off the bounce or something. I mean, he still got driven in, so it's not like it wasn't. Wow, he really did just miss that. A little frustration here on the broadcast, and I don't blame any of you viewers for being frustrated as well. But we gotta power on. The Giants have shown that they can still score runs late in the games, so it's only the 4th inning. We'll see what they're able to do against the Dodger bullpen. It's got a 1-2 count to Peterson now, so we're going to see Mookie Betts. Samardzija's going to face Betts for a 3rd time. He's already got 2 hits in the game. That was the wrong button. I didn't mean to press that one. Oh, even on foul balls, these guys are just getting solid contact now. 2 home runs in the inning, 1 a solo shot by Max Muncy, and now the 2-run homer from Will Smith, who hadn't been hitting much of anything so far this season. Yeah, the solid contact is a pretty good indicator that this pitcher's done. Even that one sounded pretty solid. I mean, it was on the outside part, so he's just sort of slapped it away. But yeah, it's danger time down in the bullpen. The Giants are getting somebody up quick here, it looks like. So whether they're earned or not, Samardzija has given up 5 runs in all 3 of his starts this season. That is tough. It's going to be tough for an offense to come back from that consistently every single time he throws. But you know that there was a reason that they waited until the 5th game of the season. They completely skipped Samardzija in the series against the first series against the Dodgers. And if it's a blister, fine, but they had to know that he was just not effective. And wow. A called strike, 3. Peterson's got an argument there. That was low, but a gift. So we'll face Mookie Betts with nobody on again. We'll see what happens. It's a good pitch. It's not a bad pitch in a 2-2. I mean, but yeah, it was a generous called strike. I mean, you want him to swing at that pitch, I think, and the fact that he didn't even swing, I guess, is a good thing. But we'll see what happens against Betts here. He's probably going to pitch around him, I imagine. But Bellinger's up next too, so I don't know, man. I don't know what you got to try to face Mookie Betts. You got to try to get him out when there's nobody on. I think you got to go after him. And out of that pitch, they definitely did. They got him to swing and lift one in the air. Easy play for Slater, and the inning finally over. 3 runs. And I think Samardzija's done after this. But, man, that was brutal. That was brutal. All right, so we're through 4. That means the Giants still have 15 outs. More than half a game to go. 5 more times up to the plate. 5 more innings, that is. And they've got some guys in the lineup that can get things going. So they're going to be leading off with Chadwick Tromp and Dubon, then Slater, Yastrzemski, Solano. So we're back to the top of the order. I'm worried about the Giants roster in that they don't have enough of these bats that these guys who are showing consistently that they can have good at bats on the roster right now. When they sent Duggar down, Duggar had a couple of decent at bats. I mean, and he's got some speed. So I'd rather have him on the roster than a Hunter Pence right now, to be honest. But I mean, I don't know how many more times I can really say that before I'm just a broken record and people get tired of hearing it. But that's where we're at. I think there's a commercial with Hunter Pence for MLB Network on showing an MLB TV right now. Coincidence? Perhaps not. Man, Ruff almost had that, almost caught that last homer. That would have been a big difference maker in that inning. Probably only down 3-1 instead of 5-1 if he catches that. Like and subscribe, people, if you can, please. Giants suck. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what to say to that. I mean, they're in rebuild mode, that's for sure. So we're doing our best. There are bright spots on this roster, and most of them, unfortunately, are not pitchers. So, and there's not enough of them in the lineup. Mariners stink. I don't know. The Mariners aren't that bad. The Mariners might not have the results yet, but I think they're overall a better team than the Giants are. That's for sure. But the Giants were able to get a couple of big wins against the Dodgers earlier, and then kind of beat up on the. Well, they didn't beat up on the Padres, that's for sure, but they were able to beat up on the Rangers a little bit. They haven't been swept yet. I think that's a big thing for the Giants, not getting swept out of any of these series. See what happens in this series when the first game is not looking good. All right, new pitcher on for the Dodgers. He's going to face Chadwick Tromp. I almost said Donovan Solano. I guess from a distance they look similar. The new pitcher is Dylan Floro. I think this is his first action of the season so far. Yeah, looks like it is. Is it? No, that can't be right. I'm just looking. I just can't read stats. Or is it? No, this is his first. No. I'm sorry. He's thrown 4 2/3 already. 4 strikeouts on 4 2/3, and no runs earned in five appearances so far this season. How bad do the Mariners stink? Let's take a look at that. Let's look into that. Chadwick Tromp down 0-2 takes the pitch low and in. Good job not swinging at that. So they've got a right-hander in there. Giants have a lot of righties in the lineup, so we'll see if they're able to hit the righty versus righty matchup. The Mariners so far are 5-9, so one game worse in the standings or in the record than the Giants are, which is not really a indicator of much of anything. But man, all these teams, the Giants are going to play the Mariners, so I guess we'll get to see who the real stinkers are. You got to get rid of that Seahawks logo, though, man. That thing's brutal. We got 49er fans in here. Oh, nice! That was a nice pitch. This is what I was worried about. The Giants were going to get into the bullpen, and after not capitalizing against Urias was not super great. He threw a lot of balls, and was wild, but effectively wild. The Giants were only able to scratch 1 run against him, and now we got guys who are going to be much more effective against the Giants. Dubon barely fouls that one off the end of the bat. This showed a shot of somebody. I saw a mask, but I saw no eyes. Oh, man. Yeah. Floro is looks a lot more effective so far than Urias did. So Urias finishes 4 innings, 3 hits, 1 run earned, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. His ERA on the season is just 2.40. So he's been effective. He's young, but only goes through 4 innings. He threw 78 pitches, and now that's, I mean, Samardzija had thrown way far fewer pitches until he got into trouble in the last 2 innings, and now he finishes 4 innings with 81 pitches, so 3 more pitches than Urias did. Dubon swinging and missing. So 2 strikeouts quickly here against the Giants, and this is where it could get into trouble. You got all these right-handers versus right-handers, and guys like Trump and Slater. You're like, yeah, or not Slater. Sorry, Dubon. It's like, man, I don't know if a right-hander versus right-hander matchup really favors those guys. Now to the top of the lineup, you got your Slaters and Yastrzemskis, who have definitely proven they can hit right-handed pitching. Slater takes a strike. The Giants' strikeout percentage is. Are you asking what for the Giants hitting? What is their strikeout percentage per 9 innings? That's a great question. How the heck do I look that up? Team strikeouts per 9 innings. So far, the Giants. Wow. You're not going to believe this. The Giants are coming into this game, according to teamrankings.com, are averaging to 7.75 strikeouts per 9 innings, which is the 4th lowest in the majors this season. That seems unbelievable, doesn't it? So they're striking out less than all but 3 other teams. Now that rate 7.75, so 7.75 of a strikeout per 9 innings is worse than their number last year. 7.56 is what they were at last year. So it's very, very close to the same thing. But in 20, wait, what does this say? Oh, that's the last 3 games. Okay. Sorry, that's not last year's numbers. Last year they struck out at 8.38 times per 9 innings. Yeah, the Giants haven't struck out a lot. They've been walking like crazy. Slater, watch them go outside 2-2 with 2 down, and it's guys like Slater and Yastrzemski who have been taking walks. I mean, even Belt's taking a bunch of walks too, but there's some good situational at bats sometimes from some of these guys. Not all of them, obviously. Nice job by Slater there, fouling that pitch off. I'm not sure if they're going to bring Samardzija out for another inning. He's hanging around like he's not done yet. Another 2-2 to Slater. Down the left field line, fair past the diving third baseman Rios into the corner. It's taken Peterson all year to get down there to get it. And Slater is able to make it the third. See, man, that is just poor camera work. It really annoys me when there's something important. There's like a question. Yeah, there's something important going on where you want to see, okay, that ball's in the corner. It's sticking there. They're not able to get to it. Is the runner trying to get the third? You don't know because they're following the ball. And when somebody's throwing it in from the left field corner, you don't know until the camera just happens to get the third base if the guy is going for 3. A different angle would have been great there, but oh well. RBI situation here for Yastrzemski. He needs to have a good at bat. We need a good situational at bat from Yastrzemski here, who is 1 for 2 tonight with a single. He scored. Is it a single or a double? No, he hit the double earlier. That's right. Solano singled him home. He has a double. Another extra base hit for the Giants, and it's these same guys, man. I'm telling you, it's a thing. Oh, almost. I was ground out for Yastrzemski, and the inning is over. So missed opportunity there, but yeah. Anyway, the theme has been continuously this season: Slater, Yastrzemski, Dickerson, Solano. Those are your guys who are getting it done on a regular basis. Everybody else is just an absolute wild card so far, and not to be trusted, I guess you could say. So through 4.5, it's 5-1 Dodgers. So the Giants are running out of outs, and there's nothing but an effective bullpen coming at them for the rest of the game. So we'll see how this goes. In between innings, another reminder, please, if you haven't already, hit that like button down there. You know, we want some solid contact on that like button down in the corner, and the subscribe button too, so you get notifications of when we're doing our next games. Trying to get them on the weekends. There may be a game tomorrow. The game tomorrow is a little bit earlier start time. I think it's about 6:10 start on the West Coast, 9:10 out here on the East Coast. Then you do the math if you're anywhere in between. Hunter Bishop. Sorry, I didn't mention that earlier. Hunter Bishop added to the alternate site roster, as he was coming back from an injury too. So got some prospects down there that are available that I think at some point we're gonna start seeing. And not to take away from Chadwick Trump or even Heineman, they both have had some moments. Heineman early in the season had a couple of nice games, but hasn't really kind of fallen off since then. Chadwick Trump has shown that he's able to hit some pitching, some big league pitching, and with some thump too. But I think we're going to see Joey Bart pretty soon. I think the time of him being down in that Sacramento roster is running thin. I think he's going to be up soon because they need something. They need something to go in this lineup right now. They need some new infused pop or something. But you're not going to see Brandon Belt taken off the roster. Joey Bart has not played any other position but catcher, really. So that's got to probably – I have no idea what exactly they're working on with him in Sacramento, but I got to think he's getting a lot of at-bats against some of these some pitchers that have major league experience, and he's probably getting a lot of work on defense, playing first base. I don't know if they're playing him anywhere else, but he's got to be able to show that he's not just a catcher. Samardzija does come out for the 5th inning. God, that's dangerous, man. It's the 3rd time through this lineup who really, really showed in the 2nd time through the lineup that they were all over him. So, wow, that's a generous strike. 3-2, 3-1 count, something off the outside that far. But he got him back out of the windup, so we'll see how he does with that. Oh, not close. Is that it? Is that it for him? You take him out now? Walks the leadoff hitter in the 5th. Come on. How many more like smashed pitches are we going to? Kepler utilizing the bullpen phone there. Is he coming out? Nope, there's nobody throwing in the bullpen, so that means we're going to continue get more of the Samardzija show here. Justin Turner is the hitter now, I believe, right? Ugh. The most frustrating part of this season is just going to be watching. Oh wow, he nicked Turner's elbow, and now there's 2 runners on. Things go south quick with Samardzija so far this season, and that's kind of how things have gone his whole career. It seems like. What did that hit? I'm speechless. I don't know. I don't know where he got hit. Still 5-1. It's the bottom of the fifth. The first two runners are aboard here. Nobody is out. Kike Hernandez. This is only his second time up, so I don't know if that makes much of a difference. Samardzija able to catch the top part of the strike zone with that little cutter, or I think that's what that was. They're calling it a slider, but for strike one. I'll say this. When we decided to start doing this show, oh my gosh. Kike Hernandez is saying he didn't get hit, but the home plate umpire said, yeah, he did. This is interesting. Wow. So what's they're going to review this? I mean, how about an honor call here? Batter saying it didn't hit him, but they're like refusing to let him stay at the plate. They're I'm I don't know. I don't know what's going on here. Why would you review that? Samardzij's history here. The bases are loaded, nobody out. I, I I think it's a tactical error to have let Samardzija start the inning without anybody throwing in the bullpen. That's just a mistake, a coaching mistake right there. The way Samardzija's pitched the last two innings, I don't see a I don't know why you. I mean, you're hoping that he's able to get you a few more outs and save your bullpen, I guess, because the Giants are in the middle of like a 16 game stretch here without a day off. But holy cow, man! I almost said something else, but holy cow! I don't know how you let him go three batters in that inning like that, and he hit the last two. So I was surprised to see Samardzija come out for the fifth, and then I was surprised when they cut away to the bullpen and there was nobody throwing, and they were just getting up and doing their Pilates. Very, very surprising stuff. So possibly you could chalk this up to some bullpen mismanagement by Gabe Kapler. I don't know why. I mean, I think the only reason I can think that they had him start the inning was because he was getting a fresh start out of the windup, and they're trying to save the bullpen because this bullpen's pitched a ton. But now we're going to see Sam Selman, and it was looked okay at times. So, but look at the situation you're bringing Samardzija into. At least have somebody pitching in the bullpen, throwing in the bullpen when Samardzija goes out there. Samardzija walks the first guy, and that should be it. That's the hook right there. Done. Why would you, a guy who struggled as much as he has in the last two innings, why would you let him go into a situation where he's got a runner on base again? He's going back into the stretch, nobody out, a long way to go, and this is what happens. You got the bases loaded with nobody out. Now Sam Selman has to come in with. That's a terrible situation to put your bullpen in. A horrible situation. So I'm chalking that. That's just mismanagement. Mismanagement right there. Obviously, I mean, I know that it came on pretty quickly. Turner got hit on the first pitch. Kike Hernandez got hit on the second pitch. So within 3 pitches, you went from one on with nobody out to the bases loaded with nobody out. And that goes by really, really fast. I understand that, but man, you should not have been in that situation to start with. I think I've said enough about that. First pitch from Selman. Man, Max Muncy's up now. I mean, you're getting the. Luckily, you're getting to the bottom of the order here. If you can get through Muncy, then that's great. But guy's got a home run already. Yeah, Bochy. I think Bochy would have his butt covered there in that situation. So lefty versus lefty here. Man, that's frustrating. Swing and a miss. Nice pitches so far. It's amazing what the difference you can see immediately in a game when a starter pitcher who does not have swing and miss stuff is throwing for several innings, and then you go right to the bullpen and immediately, boom, swing and miss, swing and miss, swing and miss. Guys that have really good breaking stuff and can miss bats come in, and it's just night and day difference here. Look at that. Off the end of the bat, it would get really at him reaching. They're not going to be able to score on this, are they? Nope. See? A weakly hit ball because he really had. I mean, he just slapped at that one. I'm gonna say it. He actually slapped at that one. The last time when he hit the home run, I said he slapped it over, but it was crushed. That time it was a slap. You got to give me that one. But anyway, it's a huge difference, and it's not like Sam Selman is like one of the top relievers in the majors or anything here. So you got a guy that can throw a breaking ball, and Samardzija is not that guy. So again, it's not surprising why Samardzija was held back so long until the 5th game of the season to start. You wouldn't expect that. I mean, gosh, him and Cueto are the only two guys that really have like solid like not that Samardzija ever had a solid major league record, but he's been around for a while and he's a guy that throws a lot of innings. And it takes until the 5th game for him to even see any action, and you can see why. He's just not effective. I don't think he's all that injured. Maybe he has a blister. Whatever. He is not an effective pitcher right now. Probably the least effective one that the Giants have in terms of starters. So, man, it's a short season, so we're already like a third of the way through it now. This is game 15. So yeah, this is a quarter of the way through it. Sorry. So I guess that means theoretically you only see 9 more starts out of Samardzija because of the shortened season. Can we survive that? I guess. I don't know. Selman in a hole here, 2-0. Nice 2-0 pitch there. Chris Taylor is a guy that you're hoping you can get a ground ball out of. That, gosh, Samardzija did not get any ground balls. That is a big problem as well. If you got a guy who can't induce a single ground ball, you're going to get deeper counts. You're going to get a lot of foul balls, and you're just not going to be effective. Oh, a really nice 2-1 pitch there also that all Taylor can do is foul it off. It's a good curveball. I think that was a curveball. Watch. Selman's going to come in here and 1-2-3 this thing. Gosh, Samardzija should not have been given that kind of leash. Eh, that's not the location you want that that 2-2 pitch to be, and you want that thing higher outside of the strike zone probably. So I guess the Giants challenged the hit by pitch. I don't see how you have any chance in heck of getting that overturned. That's just a weird place to challenge. That's a whole very strange turn of events there. There's the ground ball. Second one. What? What? Okay. Well, there's got to be interference there on the slide, right? Probably not. We're not lucky enough. Not that lucky. So Longoria double clutched, but oh yeah, there's nobody near. Solano just, gosh, muffed the throw. Of course he did. I'm a big Solano fan. I mean that's a mistake. Man, this Giants defense, man, it's just Selman is pitching a hell of a game here, man. I don't even know. I don't think that's an error. I think it's a fielder's choice. I don't think you can give him an error on that because you never. So that's probably an earned run. What the hell happened there? Gosh. Selman's pitching his butt off right now. Good for him. Look at that. Nice pitch. You can't call it an error. That's the problem. You can't call it an error on a double play, like on a missed turn. It just doesn't get done unless it's an actual, like, I don't know. They're not going to call that an error. It does end up getting called a hit, or sorry, a fielder's choice, and it is the 6th run allowed by Samardzija, and it is earned. So, man, Selman didn't deserve that. That was the end. That was the inning. They were out of that inning, big time. Strike 3 called. Look at that. Gosh, fantastic job by Selman. You know what? Selman's stock just went way up for me right there. The freaking Giants defense, man. Rough. We can call that an error in our scorebooks. But the problem with the way that they keep score in the majors is you're basically never able to assume a double play. So a missed throw like that, it's not the same as if he like overthrows the first base and like just airmails him into the stands. If they did that, then that could be called an error. But a throw that really never gets off and never has, you can't assume that he's going to beat that throw is going to beat the guy at first. So they don't ever call that an error, unfortunately. I mean, it was an error, but it never gets called an error. So because of that, it's an earned run, and I don't know, man. It's just the weird way that this game works. It was a screw up. I mean, we can put it in that column. That's just the way that this damn defense goes. So Ruff overruns a base hit. I don't even, it's even hard to describe what Ruff did earlier in the game. And it's hard to put into words, but so there's a line drive hit in front of him. It was a base hit. He tried to play it on the bounce, and he overran the bounce. So he wasn't able to catch it, and because of that, whoever it was able to go to second, and then the next guy comes up and singles him in. So that's where. So that was the unearned run for Samardzija, because that was called a hit and an error, allowing the runner to get to second base. But in this last one, because you can't, it's just like if you ground into a double play with nobody out, but a runner at third is able to score on the double play. It's not called an RBI. It's just like these weird little rules where double plays are treated differently. And you're never given the benefit of the doubt that you would have turned a double play if for some reason you're not able to turn it. So all right, Solano up here. Basically, you can put that earned run on him. But making it a 5-run deficit now, they've got to get something going. And it's not going to be home runs tonight that are going to get us there. I mean, not yet. We got to get runners on base. Want to try to hit home runs with runners on base? Please do. Please do, Giants. Hit your homers when runners are on base. But, man, who the heck's going to hit a home run in this lineup right now? Longoria? Ugh, doubtful. Dennis Santana, by the way, is the new pitcher for the Dodgers, and gets Solano swinging him. See, this is exactly as I kind of predicted. You're going to get into the Dodger bullpen, and they're good. And they're better than Urias was. And now everybody's striking out. It's all righty versus righty right now, so this is favoring the Dodgers. I don't know how that wasn't a strike to Longoria. It's a very generous ball call right there. Hammered up the middle by Longoria, who's thrown out by the pitcher. Really knocked that one hard. Interesting. Hitting screamers against this bullpen. Dennis Santana, I'm not familiar with. Wilmer Flores. See, this is something that Samardzija couldn't do. He doesn't have a curveball that he can come and just steal a strike with. He was trying to do it with that stupid cutter, which is not super effective for him. For the first time through the lineup, it worked, but after that, everybody was sitting on it. All right, so Dennis Santana, this is his second season. He threw in only 3 games last year, so he's a rookie. This is his 4th appearance, I believe, this season. There's some good contact from Wilmer Flores. Hit deep to left field. Gone. I think we just nailed a cutout in the head. I think we faced a cutout. There we go, Wilmer Flores. Like, who's going to hit a home run in this lineup? It's not going to be anybody that's been on the Giants for more than a year. That's for sure. Not going to be your Brandon Belts and your Longorias. It's going to have to be the talent that's been brought in by Farhan. Watch where this goes. I'm pretty sure it hits the cutout in the face. As it should. Does it? Oh, on the bounce in the throat. Yeah, I should have brought the glove. Oh, and Brandon Belt is completely overmatched by a running fastball on the first pitch, 0-1. I mean, I asked for the Giants to try to hit some home runs when runners are on base, but, I mean, if you're not getting guys on base, I guess you have no choice but to hit home runs without guys on base. I mean, it's better than nothing, right? The lead's been cut from 5-4. Should bring your glove. What's Belt got in him here? Get Brandon Belt out of the lineup. Please. He looked like he didn't even care in that at bat. Man, jeez. God. The only left-hander of the inning that comes up, and he just looks completely outmatched. I got a sort of a "I told you so" type of text from somebody in the that game against the Rockies where he hit the home run. Like, see, he's a great player. Got lucky. Sorry, Brandon Belt is not going to get this team anywhere. Just tough to watch. All right, so moving on. If you're still watching with us, man, thanks. We got to keep it positive. We got to try to keep it positive this season. That is the struggle. We got to remember it's a rebuilding. Even if they're not willing to say it's a rebuilding phase, it is a rebuilding phase. There's nothing you can do to change that. And you're not going to. This is the last year of Samardzij's contract with the Giants. There's a silver lining. That's about the closest thing you get to a silver lining, I think, right there. Samardzij's not going to be here after 45 more games. All right, so we're going to look at a little bit of the Giants contracts that they've got. Jeff Samardzija. It's 35. I hadn't looked at that recently. This is not the kind of look I really want at these. Salary information. Trying to see a nice payroll tracker. Is that? Okay, here. No. You gotta show me this, like the seasons here, man. Yeah, good times. Good times. All right, so who's pitching? It's got Sam Selman's out there for another inning. Hopefully he can continue to pitch as well as he did the last inning. It's a good stolen strike right there. This is the kind of stuff that I'm here for this season. I want to see them bring in these pitchers who have great stuff and are just these good finds. We're able to put it together a little bit. Oh, the fastball not well located there, but come in and show me some guys with some live stuff that can get some swings, some swing and misses, and I'll watch that. I cannot see what is going on with payroll. Apparently, the Giants' payroll this year, I mean, it's hard to really say what it is because can you believe in 2018 the Giants for the first year had a $200 million payroll? With that horrible team, they had $200 million. Last year, $170 million. Well, actually, $209 million was the year end in 2018. $182 was the year end last year. This opening day was what I quoted the first time. Yikes. Ugh, that one caught a little bit much. Deep to left, but Ruff is able to track that one down just in front of the wall. A quick out. A little lucky there. Will Smith almost hit his second home run of the night. Yep, it's been 20 years at Oracle Park. It has not always been an unbelievable 20 years, but there's been some good times over that 20-year span. I wish there was a few more, but I don't know. This team got Sabianed for a long time. I mean, look at what we're getting now. We got these players that they brought in, the Yastrzemskis and whatnot, that can hit a freaking home run. Where was that for like the entire Sabian era? it seemed like there were so many guys who just could not hit. There's so many poor offenses. Obviously, the Giants and Angels World Series team 2001 is an exception. That team had hitters, man, and but after that, it fell apart quick, and there was just nothing. Post Bonds era, the offense has been bad, consistently bad. The three World Series, not really a real strong offense out of any of those. I mean, yeah, you had in 2012, you had Buster Posey was MVP, had a great season, but that was the best, probably the best offense we've seen since Barry Bonds retired on this team, and it's been dismal all the rest of the seasons. They won those World Series on pitching. Look at that. Making Peterson look terrible up there. Nice strikeout. See what he does against Mookie Betts. Man, I'm sorry. I guess Samar just kind of the elder statesman of the Giants pitching staff right now. He's 35 years old. I don't think there's anybody on the pitching staff that's older than that. I might have to. I can't. There's one website that really does a nice job of putting together the contracts and this year's, next year's, all that kind of stuff. But I'm not finding it here. It's not popping up in front of me. Is it? Oh, that's not it. Spot track is probably what I'm looking for. No, I'm not going to find it. Yeah, Sabian focused on pitching, but I mean, but my point is, look at the difference. A year plus 15 games of Farhan comes in, and we've got guys that can hit that were not Sabian picks, and so it's like, my gosh, what the heck was he doing all those years? Walk there from Selman. He's thrown 28 pitches, but he's gotten 5 outs so far. All right, so you're a lefty, and you walk a righty to get to the next lefty. The next lefty just happens to be Cody Bellinger. So I don't know if that you could say that's a real, in most cases, is a real sound strategy if you're up there pitching, but you just walked Mookie Betts, so big deal, right? You're down 6-2, and with what Betts has done in this game already, he's been on base 3 times. So whereas Bellinger's numbers are still kind of weak, he scored twice, he's been on base twice, but I'll take my chances here. I think Bellinger's just not as nearly as hot as Betts is right now. And you get the lefty versus lefty matchup against Bellinger too, so I get it. Oh man, don't get me started on Sabian. Selman trying to hold this lead, hold the deficit at 6-2. He's throwing some good pitches here against Bellinger. That's nice. He's definitely not giving him anything to hit. All right. We're definitely pitching around, it looks like here. I don't think you want to face Turner, a righty here. So Someone's got to go at him here, 3-1. It's got to challenge him. Throw something off speed. Try to get him to hit it off the end of the bat or something. There you go. He was not looking for the breaking ball there on the 3-1. And I imagine he probably would not look for it here on the. I mean, you got to throw something off speed again here, 3-2. You can't just lay a fastball in there. Maybe unless it's like high and in, but it's got to be a strike. You don't want to walk him. Great 3-2 pitch right there. Now it's going to go out of play. Oh my gosh. Did Dubon just hurt himself running after that? Another criticism of the way that these games are done, it's like they just told us that they were in an overshift, but how the heck do we know that? They don't ever this shot that they're showing right now. They should be shown like at the beginning of every at bat if there's some sort of shift put on, so you have some idea of what's going on in the field. Otherwise, you have no clue that they're in a shift or anything like that. Swung on it. Beautiful job of pitching by Sam Selman. Man, that guy. I want to see more of that guy. Obviously, he's not going to pitch for like 2 or 3 more days now, probably because he just threw 2 innings. But hat tip to Sam Selman right there. Great job of pitching tonight. How many strikeouts does he end up getting? So Selman ends with 2 innings, no hits, no runs, no earned, obviously, 1 walk and 3 strikeouts. So that's the kind of pitching performances that this team is going to need for the rest of the season from the bullpen. I think the bullpen has been a strong point for the Giants, surprisingly. I mean, it's been horrible at times, and it's gotten them in a lot of trouble in a couple of their losses. But for the most part, the starting pitching has really let them down. My voice is teetering. It's not easy to do these things all by myself. A lot of talking to keep things interesting, if they even are interesting. I don't know. I'm really hoping Nick's able to come in and catch the last few innings here with us. If not, we'll try again tomorrow. Anyway, again, thank you so much for watching so far tonight. Like and subscribe, please, if you can. We'll keep you in the loop. We'll get more content out to you here pretty soon in a much more palatable format, not these 4-hour-long broadcasts. So liking is down in here, if you didn't know. It's over here in this position. Subscribing's over here. So hammer those buttons hard. You don't have to be light. You know, you want solid contact. Solid contact when you hit that like button. A 1-0 lead. Yeah, so it'll be 6:10 Pacific tomorrow night, 9:10 Eastern. I got to work on Sunday, so it'd be nice to get a slightly earlier game in. So you think they should split screen the game, like have the behind the pitcher and with some like little picture-in-picture of the defense? That's kind of what I was thinking. It's like you got to do something to give people, with all the shifting that's going on in the majors these days, give us an idea of what's going on out there in the field more often. It might not change a lot like pitch to pitch, so you don't have to keep doing it, but like at the beginning of the at-bat, show us where the defense is at, because we have no idea. And there's 0 people sitting live in the stands that can see it themselves. So it's got to be real frustrating if you're especially used to going to a lot of ball games, used to seeing everything that's going on in the field. You can see none of it now. All you get is this little 16:9 ratio window. And if they don't show you the defense, you have no clue. Ooh, good layoff there by Ruff. 2-2 to Ruff, the leadoff hitter. Ruff is not gotten consistent playing time, and he's doing the best he can, I guess, but he's walked once tonight. 2 plate appearances. He's 0 for 1, and then, hey, lines the ball to right field, a base hit. We got a leadoff hitter on. If you're going to rally back in a game, that's where it's got to start. You got to get runners on base early. Santana's in his second inning of relief here. Probably just trying to eat up some innings. But nice job by Ruff. That's a good at bat. See, that's the kind of thing that makes me think this guy's got to play more. I want to see more Ruff, and I want to see less Belt, but I don't know. That's just not going to happen. At least the less Belt part. But I think at this point, I mean, Ruff and Pence are both right-handed outfielders. Anytime you see Pence out there and Ruff not out there, I think is just a wasted start. Chadwick Tromp can continue to build his reputation as a good young powerful hitter that can back up a Posey or a Joey Bart in the future. It's a good second catcher to have on a roster. But he's going to strike out, as you just saw with that last swing. This guy's going to chase, but when he connects, he's going to have some pop. Oh, and 2 to a Tromp. There's some good contact. It's going to be a base hit. Jock Peterson shovels it into center field. I don't think Ruff's going to go any further than second base. You don't want to get thrown out going to second to third in this situation when you're down 4 runs. So you play it safe on the base paths, and another base hit. 2 guys on. Nobody down. Got ourselves a little rally going here. So with the righty Santana, I bet we're going to see Brandon Crawford come in and hit here for Dubon. Nope, we're going to see Pablo Sandoval, even worse. I mean, whoops, did I just say that out loud? Pablo Sandoval, pinch hitting for Mauricio Dubon. So who's going to end up playing short? I mean, they're going to bring Crawford in at some point, right? And it's probably going to, well, yeah. So I like this move because you got to pinch hit for Dubon. Dubon is just stinks. But he's not showing that he's not being very impressive with the bat right now, let's say. So you want to get a lefty up there, but you don't want it to be Brandon Crawford because he stinks too. So I'm pretty sure that Kapler is on to Crawford. I think because we saw him pull him in a 7th inning earlier this season. It was in the first game of the season, I think, for more offense, and kind of doing that here. You're not going to not that Sandoval is all that impressive here. Is down 0-2. You're trying to get a lefty in there, trying to play the matchups. Joe Kelly back from his suspension, by the way, but they're going to put Crawford in for Sandoval because you're not going to let Sandoval play in the middle infield here, and they don't have any other shortstops really. Oh, safe. Wow, if that gets by Muncy, that's not a bad. It's not a bad swing of the bat from Sandoval. It almost led to a double play. It got really close to being a double play there, but if that gets by Muncy, then that's a run scored. Thank goodness it wasn't a double play, but Muncy had a chance to. Wow, that was a very narrow. Barely missed that. Oh, wow. Nice job of Tromp at getting back. So I like the Dodgers sending Santana out there to start the 7th inning because he's already faced 3 batters. So you get a little bit more leeway with how you can kind of use your relievers. You got him up there against a lefty to start the inning, and then you can get the matchups going because you can bring a guy in that face the next hitter, and you get kind of more of a specialist type of effect out of it. But this will be he's done after facing 3 hitters here. Of course, bad camera work again. I didn't even know Dave Roberts was going to the mound. So Dickerson was announced, and they said, no, thank you. I hope Dickerson's still going to hit because they're going to bring in the lefty. Who the heck do they have warming up? I don't know. I know Joe Kelly was the righty, but I didn't catch who the lefty was. Anywho, if you don't let Dickerson hit here, the only guys left that you have are Crawford, Pence, and Heineman. You're not going to use Heineman because he's your only other catcher. You're not going to put Pence in because I'd rather have a left-handed hitting Dickerson against a lefty than a right-handed hitting Pence, to be honest. And you're certainly not going to use Crawford here because you got to put him in defensively for Sandoval. So you kind of blown through a lot of your subs. And this is the thing: you got crap on the bench because you kept Pence and Sandoval on the roster. You got junk on the bench right now this season. And I hate saying that, but these guys are just not getting it done. I mean, Sandoval, I get. Okay, of those two, I would keep Sandoval. Of Pence is just. So Crawford is going to replace Sandoval to go ahead and play shortstop. So that you just wasted two of your bench players for that one spot where Sandoval almost got it done. I mean, that almost worked. But I mean, if it doesn't work like it just didn't, like I don't understand why you're pinch hitting for Slater. Slater's a good hitter. And his splits aren't that bad. So, I mean, you're trying to force the hand of the Dodgers, I guess, but do we really want to force them to put, I don't know, they got a good bullpen. All right, let's look at the splits here for Austin Slater. Okay, Austin Slater against this season against righties is only 2 for 12. Is that right? Yeah. Walked once, struck out 5 times. So he's not doing that great against righties. So I get it. I get why you do that there. Now we got Dickerson hitting against a left-handed pitcher, Alexander. I like Dickerson, though. I don't understand why they didn't just start Dickerson, but I mean, I don't like how platoonish Major League Baseball has become, but I mean they're playing the numbers. It's like you got these guys with huge contracts that you're not going to platoon, and then these guys with lesser contracts who are trying to become consistent players don't get consistent playing time because they're platooned all the time. So Dickerson, look at his splits this season versus lefties. He's only hit one. He only has one at bat against left-handers. 2 plate appearances. He's walked. Well, was it a walk? No, it wasn't a walk. The guy only has one at bat against the left-handed pitcher, and he's 1 for 1 with a homer this season. So I don't know what that means. It's not a whole lot of track record, but the one at bat he has turned out pretty good for the Giants. So there's how many outs we got? We got 1 out, runners at first and second. It's Ruff at second, and it is Tromp at first. So not a ton of speed. Ruff has average speed at best, and Tromp is sort of fast, I guess. And, Dickerson, 3-pitch strikeout. Not great. So, and 2 at bats now against left-handed pitchers this season. Dickerson has a home run and a strikeout. All right. Yaz, you got to get it done, bro. Another lefty versus lefty matchup here. We need you, Yaz. We need you. Dodger pitchers do a good job of getting the first pitch strike with the fastballs. Something I've talked about in the past too is that a lot of the older the Giants veterans who have been around for a while can't hit fastballs. Hard fastballs, they can't hit them very well. But these newer guys, like these Stremskys, The Solanos, they can hit fastballs. Another 0-2 count. Come on, Giants. We need a big hit here. Giants have left 11 runners on base so far, and we're only in the 6th inning. Bounces one. Nice. Good take. Come on, Yaz. 1-2 count with 2 down. Runners at first and second. Of course, the Giants had runners at first and second to lead off the inning. A no out, and Sandoval hit a liner down the right field line that Muncy was able to reach and grab. It's a hot shot, too. I mean, it was. If he's another step to his right, he probably doesn't get that. Meeting on the mound now. So a high leverage situation here. It's a stress position to bring a reliever into, but Alexander's handling it pretty well. Scott Alexander. One, two, way outside. So they're definitely taking advantage of their waste pitches. Oh, good. Rico Garcia will pitch the next inning for the Giants, who got shellacked a bit in Colorado, as Kurko was talking about. Oh, man. I think Yastrzemski was going to swing at that pitch no matter what. And it's way in the dirt, and he swings and misses, and he's tagged out. So, that's tough. What's that, 13 runners left on base now for the Giants? Yeah, now, since they got into the bullpen, the Giants are striking out like crazy. Urias in 4 innings only got 2 strikeouts, but they have 6 strikeouts since then. 2 in each of the last 3 innings. Bummer. So we got through the Slater and the Yastrzemski spot with runners on, and we unfortunately didn't capitalize that time around. I mean, it's not going to happen every time, but man, if we could have just got Yastrzemski on base and had Solano up, whew, that's the ideal situation right there, I think. Alas, Solano will be leading off the next inning with Longoria and Flores behind him. We got to make it to the what is it, seventh inning? What are we in? No, we're in the 7th inning already. Gosh, we got to make it to the 8th inning first. So the Giants are down to 6 outs left. They're down by 4, thanks in part to some lousy defense. You can make the case that at least one of those runs doesn't score if the Giants' defense is. I mean, it's easily make the case because Donovan Solano unable to really make a throw because he couldn't grip the ball on a double play turn pivot. It's not really cool. And the other one, I don't know. It was a base hit that Darren Ruff couldn't catch off the bounce that allowed a runner to get second, and then he was singled in the next batter. So I don't know. Maybe that run still scores even if Ruff is able to get that ball and holds the guy to a single, but we will never know. Rico Garcia comes in to pitch the bottom of the 7th, and the Giants likely will only have to get 6 more outs in this game unless they are able to tie or go ahead. Gosh, man. Party foul there, hitting the mic. I've been done it 3 times tonight. So our viewership just like cut in half here. I think people are giving up here. But we got to stick with it, man. We got some big at-bats coming up. Got to keep pushing these guys on. Want to see if Rico Garcia can bounce back after a bad outing in Colorado. So Dickerson remains in the game. He'll play right field as he replaces Slater. Brandon Crawford, as I predicted, is now your shortstop. Called it. All right. We're facing Justin Turner. You come into the game after a rough outing, and you got to face Justin Turner and Kike Hernandez and Max Muncy. Quick 0-2 to Turner. Not great pitches at all. There's a good one. Not sure that the umpire necessarily even really needed to call that one, but judging by how far out of the strike zone Garcia was in the first two pitches, he can throw a mid-90s fastball, 94, 95-ish. 2-1, off the outside, ball 3. This is not... You don't want to let this leadoff runner on. Right down Broadway, and Turner is only able to foul it off. I don't think he was expecting a fastball there. Wasn't looking for it, at least. Three-two pitched. Not close. Ball 4. Almost. A little chin music there. Oh, man. Oh, man. So the Giants bullpen. Ooh, excuse me. Yeah, it looks like they got some guys they're trying to stay away from. Menez threw last night. I know Rogers, Watson. Rogers, man, his ERA is 13.5. That's not great. Sean Anderson, I know, pitched yesterday. Beauregard. These guys are getting used, that's for sure. First pitch fouled off by Hernandez. This is what happens in a rebuild type of year. You're gonna have some games that are just tough to get through, some tough innings. As a fan, you're gonna kind of have to grind it a little bit, but you're looking for these guys. Oh, jeez. Off the top of Trump's glove and to the backstop on that one, so it's 1-1, and Turner moves up to second. It'll be interesting to see if Major League Baseball ends up keeping the rosters at 28 for the rest of the season. I know with all of the health scare that we've got going on around the country, and gosh, that's the 4th time, and in baseball this season, the tendency to want to keep the rosters big, I understand it. So, but we talked about it in the game we did last week. Talked about who are the Giants going to keep when it comes time to cut the rosters down. We were completely wrong, because obviously we're thinking about guys who've, I don't know, we're on different wavelengths than the Giants management is, and I see why they did what they did. But anyway, if they had to cut 2 more players, who are those 2 players going to be? I got to think Rico Garcia is probably on the bubble. Rogers might be as well. I mean, he's pitched really well at some points, but just awful the rest of them. It's a nice soft fly ball to right center. Dickerson in. Got it. Okay, so no harm done there. Now we're going to see Max Muncy, who has a homer in this game. One for three. That's the only hit he's got is that solo shot that he hit. Come on. A little bit more control here, Garcia. Nope. Way low and in. Easy take for the first pitch is 1-0. Justin Turner is the runner at second. He got on via a walk from Rico Garcia and was able to move up on you've got to think you have to call a wild pitch. He's moved up to second. A fly ball out by Kike Hernandez has the Dodgers here in this one out and a runner on second situation. But Garcia, in 2 pitches to Max Muncy, has not been near the strike zone. So he's missing down, which I guess is the good thing. But I've got to think if Muncy gets on, they may lift Garcia. I don't know if they have anybody in the bullpen because again we don't get to look at that very often. Ooh, there's a belt high strike that Muncy swings right through, 95 miles an hour. So who do we have pitching tomorrow? So we look ahead here one day. It's basically the same pitch. That time Muncy gets a small piece of it. Look ahead to tomorrow night's game. See if we got anything posted for that. Giants really aren't announcing their pitchers ahead of time too much this season. All right, the preview here on MLB.com says Johnny Cueto against Clayton Kershaw. So the matchup we thought we were going to get on opening day is what we're going to see tomorrow. The Giants have some guys who have a good history against Kershaw, too. They got Longoria hitting .333 against Clayton Kershaw in 18 at-bats. Hunter Pence, unfortunately, might get a start tomorrow because in 36 at-bats, he's hitting .389 against Kershaw with 1 home run and 5 RBIs. There's a weak fly ball to left field. Ruff's got that one. Again, Turner unable to move up, and there's 2 away. So Garcia's finding his way through this inning so far after giving up the leadoff walk. Donovan Solano in 6 at-bats has 3 hits against Clayton Kershaw. After that, there's not much. Mauricio Dubon in 2 at-bats has a home run and another hit against him, so he's got 2 hits. So we'll see. We'll see what the Giants can do. A lot of success in the Dodgers lineup tomorrow, or in the Dodgers team that against Cueto. So we'll see how that goes. Corey Seager has the most success against him in 36 at-bats, which is the most on the team. He's hitting .361 with 3 homers against Johnny Cueto. Taylor hits a ground ball and is thrown out at first, so after the leadoff walk, Garcia gets 3 up, 3 down against a pretty kind of a tough part of the Dodgers lineup, so good for him. And the Giants make it through the bottom of the 7th inning, unhurt. 2 straight zeros put up by the Giants after a 2-run at third, a 3-run fourth, and a 1-run fifth given up. It's still 6-2. about out of water. So as I said before, after the last Giants inning, they've got about 6 outs left. They've scored only 2 runs, and they seem to score in every third inning right now. 1 run in the third, 1 run in the sixth. So I don't know. If it's a pattern, then in the 9th inning they'll scratch 1 across, and then that'll be it for them. Anyway, thank you so much for watching tonight, guys. It really means a lot that you're here to watch. So we talked Giants baseball and what's to come. I got to think Joey Bart's got to be imminent, and I think probably after this Dodger season, this Dodger series, we're probably going to see him. What makes me say that? It's a hunch. I mean, they can't hold him back much longer with the team struggling like they are. I mean, it can't get a whole lot worse. I guess it could get a lot worse. They're only 2 games below 500, but 6-8 could be worse. But if they lose tonight, it'll be 6-9, and things are not getting easier. So they need to do something to get a little excitement going, a little energy in that clubhouse, and they've got some fat on this roster that they need to cut. And I don't know if they have the intestinal fortitude to have cut a Hunter Pence or a Pablo Sandoval after only 15 games, which is the trouble of the shortened 60-game season. 15 games is a quarter of your games. So the leash is it's kind of a write-off of a season because of that. So things that a quarter of the season in a 162-game season, 40 games, maybe 40 games is enough to say that, you know what, Pence and Sandoval just don't really have it. We're not going to get much out of them anymore. But 15 games being a quarter of the season, maybe you say, you know what, maybe they're just in a slump and they'll bust out of it. You know, maybe because it's only 15 games. But I don't know how much longer you can wait on guys like that. Donovan Solano to the plate, who is 1 for 3 tonight, an RBI single. Joe Kelly is the pitcher. First pitch is a ball. Here comes pitch number 2 in the inning. Right down the middle, taken by Donovan Solano. So one thing I was just thinking, does this feel much like a tense rivalry right now between the Giants and the Dodgers? I can't say that it does, because these two teams are in completely different places in terms of their competitiveness. And so, oh wow, that pitch by it did hit the umpire. Oh, popped him on the top of the left shoulder. That pitch missed badly. 2-1 to Donovan Solano. MLB game day is really getting slow on me here. Ground ball right to the shortstop. Taylor flips on to first. 1 away. I think this is going to be one of those nights where the Giants go down quietly. They didn't even really get into the real beef of the Dodger bullpen yet, so it will be unfortunate if they're unable to really get into that stuff in the first game, but because it would likely have an effect on the second and third games of the series. But the Giants, we're probably going to see a lot of the good pitchers and a lot of the Dodger beef in the bullpen the next 2 games. Be even harder to score runs against those guys, and Kershaw's pitching tomorrow too, so it's going to be tough. Longoria is quickly down 0-1, swinging and missing at the fastball challenge right down the middle. Again, older Giants players don't hit fastballs very well. They're not able to really catch up with them and turn them around. 6-2 is the score. He's looking fastball, obviously, as he got a breaking ball that he just watched fall into the strike zone for strike 2. All right, good eye laying off that curveball, which is perfectly pitched, really, if you're Joe Kelly. Just falls right out of the strike zone. It's probably about 4 or 5 inches below the bottom of the strike zone when it makes it over the plate, but it's a good 0-2 pitch. It's probably going to see something similar on 1-2. Very similar pitch, just a little bit more outside, and it's ball 2. Good take from Longoria, who looked like he wanted to give it a shot, but was able to hold up. Now the 2-2 pitch to Evan Longoria. Way outside and high on the fastball. It was at 97. It was said on the broadcast, but the count runs full now. MLB Game Day's number says, if it ever shows me the pitch, the first fastball, which he swung through, was 97, so I'm sure it was about the same. Ooh, waits on that curveball nicely. It's a foul territory. Muncy will run out of room. So it's about 3 rows deep into the stands. Yeah, Longoria looked like he was sitting on a breaking ball there, because he was able to wait back nicely on it. Probably going to see a fastball here. So this will be the 7th pitch of the at bat. The last fastball was at 97, indeed. 96.8, it says. Here it comes. Ooh, another breaking ball. Ooh. Nice job staying alive here by Longoria, but hopefully, I think he's going to get blown away by a fastball here. I'm not. That's not the hopefully part. Hopefully, he's able to actually catch up with the fastball and get a piece of it at least. Prove me wrong about him and not being able to hit a fastball very well. There was the fastball, and he fouls it off. So he wasn't that far behind on it. On deck is Wilmer Flores. He's 1 for 3. A run driven in and a run scored. He's also struck out once. Brandon Belt would follow him if the inning is extended. He's 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts tonight. Another 3-2 pitch. Reached for and hit weakly to shortstop. Throws across the diamond, and that's 2 away. The Flores. So the hit was a home run. I should have mentioned that, I suppose. Skipped off the throat of one of the cardboard cutouts. Of course, was wearing Dodger blue, so good on him. Take out another couple cardboard cutouts there in the outfield on this at bat. That would be nice. 4 outs left for the Giants. Flores not swinging at the knee-high 98-mile-an-hour fastball. Can't say I blame him. So he's down 0-1. Good job laying off that one, which, man, that had some movement on it. It was 99 miles an hour. just a little bit high. Calling that a sinker. A 99-mile-an-hour sinker. Lined into center field, a base hit. Nice. Oh, okay. Okay. Bellinger dove for it, missed badly. And Flores, is he going to pull up at second? Oh, wow. That thing bounces all the way to the wall. Nice backup by Peterson in left field, but nice at bat by Wilmer Flores. Wilmer Flores is another Farhan acquisition. Oh, Bellinger had no business diving for that one. It wasn't even close. That thing just goes to the... When you're up 4 runs and you got 2 outs, I guess. They're lucky that was only 2. That was only a double. Brandon Belt. His 4th at bat. Which is a strike, hit the pitch hit the outside corner for a strike, 97 miles an hour. Belt's a guy who will swing and miss through some fastballs. But hey, if Brandon Belt gets a hit here, I want to see anybody in the who's watching that hasn't hit the like button to hammer that thing. High fly ball left field, driving Peterson back, but not that far back because he doesn't even make it to the warning track, and that is the inning. Belt is 0 for 4. Well, unfortunately, we didn't get that hit, but so at the end of 7.5, the end of the going into the bottom of the 8th now, the Giants still down 6-2. They will have 3 more outs to try to tie this game up at least. And so in all likelihood, I think they only have 3 more outs to get here as a pitching staff. See who they decide to bring in to pitch the 8th. I guess we could see Rico Garcia for another inning, but I'm doubting that. So Samardzija came into the night's game with like a 9.31, I think, ERA, and now it's 9.88 after this game. So it's gone up as he gives up another 6 runs, 5 earned. 3rd game, giving up 5 runs earned. He's only started 3 games, so. Ugh. There's a cool video there between Pete Alonso and Freddie Freeman, who, if you're watching back home in the Bay Area, oh, I'm missing the microphone here, by the way. If you're watching in the Bay Area, you didn't see that commercial. All right, so before the Giants get to the bottom of the 8th here, please do consider liking and subscribing. Subscribing is kind of the big one at this point. We're going to make sure that you guys are all notified of the next time we go live and whenever our new content comes up. Liking it helps bring attention to the channel so that anybody searching for baseball, either now or in the past, is more likely to see this channel come up in their recommendations. But the subscriptions are the ones that's going to keep you guys coming back, hopefully, so that you'll know when our next games are coming up and any of our new content comes up. Again, I'm going to try to get some in-between content going. I've got a little bit of time for that coming up in the next week or so. So if we don't get another game going until next weekend, then we'll try to get some stuff in between. So Wandy Peralta comes up, and then the very first pitch swinging is Rios sending a ball into the right field dugout, or bullpen, sorry. Right field dugout makes no sense. 1 pitch, 1 run scored. Just like that. A hanging curveball right over the heart of the plate. Rios was 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts before that swing of the bat. Yeah, as I said, not a good curveball. Will Smith to the plate. Another hanging curveball swung on and lined to left field. A base hit. Whew. So it is a 7-2 deficit for the Giants now. So we're trying to discover what kind of bullpen pitchers are going to be sticking around for the Giants for a while. And I'm not sure that Wandy Peralta is one of them. But they're giving him a look. See what he does the rest of this inning here. He decides to lay in another curveball, that's for sure. And it was a changeup. Okay, that was a changeup. Taken for a strike by Pollock. Pollock at the plate. His first at bat of the night has been coming on strong for the Dodgers lately, so it's surprising that we didn't see him until now. It's a grounder to third, just foul. Another changeup. I don't think he's thrown a fastball yet. Okay, threw one. The first pitch to Will Smith was a fastball. Then he threw the changeup. That was hit for the single. The home run was on a slider or a curveball, I guess it was. 87 right over the middle of the plate. That was just launched. In the dirt on the 0-2 pitch, sort of a back foot slider, which is what you want to see. But it was taken by Pollock because it was a little too low and inside. AJ Pollock is a real good example of a player that I would love to have seen the Giants get. And of course, he signs with the Dodgers. There's just no coming back from that. Mookie Betts, the guy you want to keep off the base paths. Starts him with a strike down and in on a changeup, I believe. He's been on base. He's been 4 plate appearances, on base 3 times, including a home run. The third. Chopped foul to the left side. 94-mile-an-hour fastball. Peralta has definitely established that he can throw some off-speed stuff, and I think the fastballs are really kind of complementing the off-speed at this point. He's pitching off of the off-speed pitches, and the fastball is catching guys by surprise. So I think guys are kind of sitting on the off-speed stuff right now. 0-2 to Betts. Too much strike zone on that, but he hits it pretty much right at rough, and there's 2 away. Now we'll see Cody Bellinger again, who's 1 for 3 with a walk. 4 walks issued by the Giants tonight, 7 strikeouts. Giants themselves have only drawn 2 walks, so that was pretty early too, and struck out 8 times. 14 runners left on base by the Giants so far tonight. 20 left on base by the Dodgers. So good on the Giants for keeping this from being much worse. Swinging and missing on the first pitch is Bellinger. So it's gone a little quiet here in the chat room. Peter was lighting us up pretty much. I think I get it. Once he gets into the later innings, it's like, this is kind of hopeless. Less motivated to throw the chats in, and that's going to be a problem we're going to see a lot, I think, over time. Nice job by Ruff tracking down that line drive into left field there for the final out of the inning. Giants get get through 3 straight innings now without a run given up. Oh, sorry, there was a run given up. It was the first pitch of that inning on the solo home run. So they give up the 1 run on the homer. It's 7-2 now at the end of 8. 3 outs to go for the Giants, and the Giants in the top half of the 9th will have coming to the plate. It'll be Darren Ruff, Chadwick Tromp, and Brandon Crawford. We're going to see him in his first time to the plate tonight. So I suppose there's a chance that we could see Hunter Pence and or Heineman hit in this inning. They are the last 2 bench players, though, I think, for the Giants. Yeah, they are. So I'm not sure that we would actually see that happen, but we'll see. Like, Darren Ruff does have a hit tonight, so I'm not sure why you would take out. He's been on base twice, so I'm not sure why you would take him out in favor of Hunter Pence at this point, just unless you're trying to get Hunter Pence at bat for some reason, just to add to his offer. Every time I say something about Hunter Pence on MLB TV, they show this MLB Network commercial with Hunter Pence in it. Every time. And it's me talking about Pence before that commercial starts. So it's not like I see it coming and then I comment on something Pence related. I was talking about Pence first. Let the record show. Yeah. Pence, man. Pence is the kind of guy you really root for. You want him to succeed, but it's just, man, the results just haven't been there. He had a good first half of the season last year, but it's been not good since then. So on the season, Pence is 1 for 29 with 1 walk, 8 strikeouts. He has scored once. His hit was a triple. His only hit on the season was a triple. That was the triples alley in San Francisco, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure that's where it was. You're absolutely right, Peter. It is hard to bag on these guys for 9 straight innings when eventually it's just like, yeah, this is just not going well tonight. Darren Ruff, let's see him have another good at-bat, hopefully, here. McGee is in to pitch. Jake McGee starts him out with a mid-90s fastball right down the middle that Darren Ruff looked like he was taking all the way. Another guy who's making his debut. No, that's not right. Gosh, I'm just not looking at these stats very well. So this season, this is his 6th game, I think, for McGee. Does not have an ERA as of yet in 4 1/3 innings. Struck out 7 batters. Jake McGee, 34-year-old reliever, has spent the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 seasons of his career with the Tampa Bay Rays and spent the last 4 seasons before this year with the Colorado Rockies. Very mixed results with the Rockies. But so far, it's been pretty good for the Dodgers this year. He's got a 1-2 count to Darren Ruff. The pitch swung on to miss. Strike 3. 96-mile-an-hour fastball. They swung right through. Bring up Chadwick Tromp. See what Tromp can get done here. And he's got the pop to make things happen, but at this point in the game, 2 outs left, nobody on. I don't think his bat's going to make a huge difference in the outcome. He swings through a 94-mile-an-hour fastball, 0-1. Not close on the second pitch, 1-1. Dodger dog. Buy a Dodger dog, says the ad behind home plate. I could go for a Dodger dog right now, I think. At the AM PMs. I'm going to not eaten at an AM PM in a long time. Fouled off by the Trump. Is it just me, or is every time Dwayne Kuiper says Trump, does it sound like he's saying Trump? I don't know if they do that on purpose or not, but they're not. I mean, I kind of, when I say his name, I kind of go out of my way to make it sure it doesn't sound like Trump. Not close again on that fastball, and it's 2-2. Yeah, I feel bad for any pitcher that's got to go into Colorado and try to, on any sort of long-term contract, and try to have good stats at the end of the day. Two and two the count to Trump, and here is the pitch. High fastball up at the letters that Trump offers at and is able to foul back. Who was that we just saw in the on deck circle? It was Crawford. That's right. Fastball down the middle that he lines straight back, so he's on. He's on it. Probably going to see some off speed here. This game is 3 hours, 15 minutes old now. I do not see that any of the efforts to shorten the game have been effective this Major League season. There's the off-speed pitch, a curveball not even offered at, and it is strike three. So Trump is down. It's a good question. How much does a Dodger dog cost? I don't know with anybody who might be watching this on like Comcast or seeing, but it looked like the mouths of Dwayne and Kipe were completely not in sync with the audio. Crawford makes it a one pitch at bat. He grounds out, and the frustration with Brandon Crawford continues, as that is the ball game. Before we go, we're going to say the price of a hot dog at a Dodger game. They've got listed at $6.75. I don't know if that's the Dodger dog specifically, but that just says a hot dog. So the number 7 priciest team in baseball for hot dog is the LA Dodgers, the 7th priciest dog in the majors. And the most expensive would be Chicago. No, that's not the most expensive. It's $6.50 in Chicago for the Cubs. Most expensive game in Chicago, according to team marketing, blah, 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 blah. Now they want pay for some sort of ads or something like that. Let's see. Washington, hot dogs, $7. New York Yankees, they're pricing it at $3. $6 beers, $3 hot dogs. So I guess they charge a ton for tickets and for parking fees, less for food. Giants hot dog is $6.50. Dodgers hot dog is $6.75. It's saying. The Dodgers stand out as one of the few teams in the major leagues that charges more for a hot dog than they do for a beer. A beer is $6.25. There's your answer. $4 vegan dogs in San Francisco. Well, that's good to know. Oh, no. I don't go for vegan dogs, that's for sure. Actually, I'm not huge on getting a hot dog when I go to a ball game. I like to get like a sausage. They have them here at the minor league ballpark that we go to. Really good, like an Italian sausage. You get the peppers and the onions and everything with it too. It's nice. It's very nice. I prefer that over a simple hot dog. But anyway, that is the ball game for tonight. The Giants drop the first game of this 3-game series in Los Angeles, 7-2. The total 7 runs on 9 hits, no errors for the Dodgers. 2 runs on 8 hits, 1 error. Though there was clearly a second error that was costly for a run that was not called an error, but for the Giants. So 8 hits, they 1 less hit than the Dodgers, but of course the Giants are not very well able to capitalize on their hits as they hit a lot of singles and not a lot of extra base hits. 4 home runs hit by the Dodgers tonight. Mookie Betts went deep. Muncy went deep. Will Smith went deep for his second of the season, and Rios hit his third of the season. So 4 home runs by some of the key hitters for the Dodgers and the supporting cast as well. Giants got the 1 home run from Wilmer Flores and another run driven in by Donovan Solano. So good for him getting his 14th run batted in this season. The Dodgers are not even close to that, really. I think Turner got his 9th. That's the highest that I see so far for them. Great to see you, Peter. Thanks for sticking with us tonight through the game. You made it pretty much through the whole thing, which I'm surprised you did, and I'm surprised anybody really did. But maybe we'll see you tomorrow night and enjoy things at the beach. And I'm sure you guys are going to be busy on a weekend day. So yeah, it's the Giants. Man, they got some guys that are getting on base. Trump had 2 hits tonight. Ruff had a hit, got on base twice. I mean, they're getting guys on base, but they're just not getting extra base hits. They're not getting the big hit when there are guys left on. Yastrzemski, unfortunately, I don't really like Yastrzemski in the number 2 spot, but when he hits against lefties, they seem to like to put him a little lower in the lineup. But so Yastrzemski left 4 on base tonight. That's the highest for any of the Giants. 14 total left on base by them. I mean, then you look at the Dodgers. Muncy and Bellinger both left 4 on base, as the Dodgers left 22 men on base total. It was Jeff Samardzija really who kind of spelt the Giants' doom. He ended up pitching 4 total. 4 plus, really, as he did start the 5th, but loaded the bases in the 5th and never recorded an out before exiting. Gave up 7 hits, 6 runs, 5 earned total, and 2 walks and 3 strikeouts. 3 home runs were given up by Jeff Samardzija today. Sam Selman came in, pitched 2 wonderful innings, including coming in with the bases loaded and nobody out after Samardzija loaded them up, and was only able to give up the 1, and really he shouldn't have even given up the 1, because that was the one where Donovan Solano was unable to grip the ball while turning a double play, which he would have had by a mile if he was able to grip it. So Selman would have been out of that inning without allowing any of those inherited runners to score. But for the Donovan Solano error, he ended up striking out 3 in 2 innings with one walk given up. Rico Garcia had a rocky inning in the bottom of the 7th, that's for sure. He struggled to throw strikes, but managed to just walk 1 and got through the inning otherwise. Peralta had the first pitch he threw was a bad curveball that got launched for a homer, and after that he was able to just give up the one hit and struck out 1. So mixed results from the Giants bullpen tonight. The starting pitcher Samardzija was terrible, and so the Giants hitters, it's like they can't string things together, and they've got a dead spot in the middle of the lineup with Longoria and Belt. So they're both 0 for 4 tonight. Belt striking out twice. So those are rough patches, man. Rough spots in the lineup. Belt's now hitting 182. Longoria a little bit better at 233. Both of their OPSs are sub 700. So not strong results. Dubon was 0 for 2 with a strikeout tonight as he continues to not be super impressive with the bat. Sandoval 0 for 1 in his pinch hit, and Crawford it was the final out of the ball game. The only pitch he saw, he hit for a weak ground ball to the right side, and he was thrown out. So those are the God, man. There's some weak spots in this lineup, like I said, and most of them are guys that have been around a while. Sandoval, Crawford, Belt, Longoria, all the weak spots of the lineup. And so we will look to hopefully see a little bit less of them moving forward, but we'll see. Giants will face Clayton Kershaw, another lefty, tomorrow, so we're going to see another right-handed heavy lineup, which probably means I'm sure we'll see Crawford in the lineup tomorrow night. Dubon probably won't get to start 2 in a row at shortstop against lefties, but we'll probably see maybe Ruff at first base tomorrow, as I'm sure I don't know. Probably going to see the same outfield. Maybe Pence in there as something. Maybe Pence plays left and Ruff plays first, because I don't know if you can do another 0 for 4 with Belt against Kershaw. We'll see what happens, and probably see Crawford in there. Definitely going to see Yastrzemski. So we'll see what happens. It's going to be a tough game, but the Giants got Cueto going, who's looked good at times so far this season, and I hope that keeps going. So not 100% sure if we're going to be here tomorrow night for that game or not, but we'll give it a shot. We'll talk with Nick and see if he's able to make it to that. If we don't end up seeing you, we will probably see you again next weekend. Until then, have a wonderful evening, wonderful week, and take care of yourselves out there. Thanks for joining us tonight. We'll see you.